evening, infidels.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers, a live Facebook interactive show where you, the viewer, has total input on topics of discussion regarding any subject that includes commenting, talking, or debating, not with just your host, but with each other, you, the viewers. You control and run this show as always. We are just the rudder that steers this big old vessel. This is the show that is wide open with no limits as we bring it to you first. We discuss news, politics, and business, sports, and other things pertinent to our community, to include Stark, Lake Butler, Keystone, Waldo, Melrose, Booker, Middleburg, Lake City, Gainesville, and the entire regional area. No, not to include Lulu. Sorry. We will always talk about happenings in the great state of Florida and South Georgia as we talk about state news, politics, and sports, and also delve into news and current events going on in our great nation and the world today that affect our everyday lives. Now, let me introduce the show team, the guys that make it all happen, bringing the mood to the groove. First, behind the controls with the video and audio is our senior producer, Mr. Command and Control, the big dog, our executive producer, Super Dave Daredevil Holland. Say hello, everybody, Dave.
Thank you, everybody.
And joining him behind the scenes, keeping the flow to the show, is our director, Michael, the Dragon Slayer Healer. Say hello, Michael.
Good evening, folks.
He's not in my age.
Up next, our advertising and marketing guru, John, better than Snopes Pro. Say hello, John. Hello, John. Our sports production assistant, MIA, Roger, the Tornado Cruz. And our man with all things weather, Austin, Storm Chaser Stevens. Say hello, Austin.
Good evening, everyone.
And now my co-host for this evening with breaking information and some color commentary is Mitchell. Nobody. So, hey, and with us tonight to my left, there's our
people.
Yeah, there you go. He is every night. Yeah. Yeah, you got that right. And with us tonight to my left is our historian and governmental whiz on national and world politics, Byron, fighting to help keep your freedom and rights Bagwell.
Good evening, infidels.
There you go. And I'm your host, Mr. David Rodgers, the voice of the Bradford High Tornadoes, and
The show
pony. The show pony. Welcome to the show, guys. We're coming to you live from the Emergency Operations Center here at the Bradford County Sheriff's Office. And we want to thank our host, Sheriff Gordon Smith, and his great emergency management staff for their hospitality each and every week, letting us use this building to bring this show to you guys. Tonight's show is brought to you by Brittany Leanne Creations out of Melrose. Do you know her? I know her.
I don't know her.
Well, I know her, and I know who her dad is.
I know who her dad is, but I don't know her.
I hear you. Yeah. Well, you know, hey, we'll ask him about that here in a little bit.
For the best photography and graphic design anywhere in North Central Florida, check out Brittany Leanne Creations on Facebook.
It would be her dad that just came on there and said that, would it? No, not at all. No.
He would never do anything like that.
Yeah. Just a reminder about our new format to make you, the viewers, a chance to interact. All right, folks, we have the all-new ADO, audience driven overtime. I call Dave Holland napping over there. That's right.
Any more of that, we got banned from Facebook.
Yeah, definitely get rid of that. That's right. Our new format gives everyone equal opportunity in each segment. But when we hit a topic near and dear to your heart, as we always do, we want to address it. We go into ADO, audience-driven overtime. So you get your say, you the viewers. But now it's time to kick off the show with our prayer, our Pledge of Allegiance, and a patriotic quote of the week. So let us bow our heads, please, ladies and gentlemen, as we always do, and let's start off with prayer. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us thank you again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for everything that you have given to us, dear Lord, and thank you for each and every day that we're able to wake up and honor you, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, dear Lord, and that's the United States of America. Also, dear Lord, the best fighting force in the world. Keep a hedge of protection over them, and that's our United States Armed Forces, dear Lord, as they're fighting to help keep our freedoms of this great nation. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day, that it goes into the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Thank you again, dear Lord, for letting us just go throughout the rest of this week and into the weekend. If there's any unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, or spoken prayer requests, that you touch each and every one of those folks. And we ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says, Amen. Amen. All right, we're going to stand and do the pledge. Mr. Michael Heater, would you lead us off in the pledge, please, sir?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Amen. All right.
Good stuff.
Mr. Bagwell, what do you have for us tonight, man? I know you got several quotes. If you don't know about Byron gets up and says good morning each and every morning. I don't think you've missed too many of those that I know of. I really probably count them on your hand, right?
I don't miss them.
You don't. So
I don't. There's been a couple that I've missed because I didn't have service, but that's been about it.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably count them on your hand, right?
Yeah.
So Byron always has a quote from one of either our founding forefathers or a quote from a great American patriot or whatever.
Sure.
So tonight, what do you have for us?
Well, I bounced back and forth tonight about what I was going to say. And
Okay.
I was actually going to do something that I never, ever, ever do.
Uh-oh.
Go Gators.
And that's give any modern senator, congressman a quote.
Okay.
But I decided not to do that.
Okay.
And the reason I decided not to do that is because it's Chuck Schumer that I was going to quote.
Yep.
And I just really thought that I would do that because, you know, this whole entire thing that's going on nationally,
Right.
it is with the impeachment is just completely and utterly bogus.
It is.
If you go back and look at what's going on with it, you can find all sort of quotes from not only Chuck Schumer, but Adam Schiff,
Right.
and Jerry Nadler.
Mm-hmm.
That when the Clinton impeachment was going on, that's completely opposite of what they're doing and how they're talking now. But I decided not to do that because we're going to talk a little bit about the Constitution in my segment and explain a little bit about what's going on and why it shouldn't be allowed to go on any further in the Senate, period.
Okay.
I've changed my mind. I really thought that they should actually let them have witnesses.
We talked about that.
And we should have witnesses too.
Right.
But there's some reasons why that shouldn't go on, and I'm going to explain that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give my favorite quote tonight from Benjamin Franklin.
All right.
Freedom is not a gift bestowed upon us by other men, but a right that belongs to us by the laws of God and nature.
That's a great quote right there. And that's from your great-great-great-great-grandfather, Benjamin Franklin. Yeah. We found that. DNA, it's good. You are related to
the lightning
Franklin.
Experiment explains me.
Yes, it does. Oh, jeez. Here's your quick and dirty for this Tuesday night, sponsored by Austin's Weather Service in Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook. Send in your zip code and get a detailed local forecast just for you. Here we go. Coming up in Lake Butler is the Winter Invitational happening February 1st from 11 to 3. It is a drag boat racing event that is free for spectators. Dave, I heard that you're entering something in that. I hear that you got a drag boat, that you've got 2 pieces of board and a couple of horses pulling something.
Yeah, that's my boat.
That's your boat?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The horses are.
Can I ask you something? Does that boat float?
It will.
Yeah, float right down to the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Boat we can use.
There you go. This year, did you see
a mercury on the back of it? It turned into a drag boat.
Oh my
Now,
God!
I'm not sure any of us would want to be in it, but
well, that's very true. This year, the UC Baseball Barbecue Feast Alive in Silent Auction will be held February 6th at the Bell Oaks Barn near Brooker. What a great event! We're going to have the Bluegrass Festival there. We were there last year. Yes, so we're going to be there again. They want us there live for that particular event. So make sure you tune in for that. If you've never seen that or been there, that's a beautiful venue. Oh my gosh!
And the Bluegrass Festival last year was really good,
and it's going to be bigger now. It's going to have 3 or 4 or 5 groups there now.
I'm glad they're returning that, because there used to be Bluegrass festivals all over the place. There used to be one in Lottie too, if I remember correctly.
That's where it started. I do believe.
It started, yeah. And then there was one that they used to hold in Lake Butler too.
Right. So the Bradford County Sheriff's Office Team Drive Challenge has been rescheduled for this Saturday, January 25th. The ATV safety class is also rescheduled to follow after the challenge. Check out the BCSO Facebook page for details. There will be some amazing homemade cakes, fishing trips, weekends at the beach, turkey hunts, loads of dirt, a hunting dog from a kennel, a bell oaks rental, a very nice chainsaw, hay, and much, much more. Come on out at 6:15 and hang out with us. Bradford County firefighters saved a home Monday afternoon after fire consumed the chimney in a residence. The house, located on Northeast 162nd Street off Flume Road, suffered moderate damages, but most personal items were saved. Thank God nobody got hurt in that. Finally, Bradford County deputies caught a burglar red-handed Sunday evening as he was trying to leave with stolen TVs and other items. Well, you dummy, you shouldn't have left it with 2 big old things of TVs, man. What do you think? The police are going to ride right by you? Not say nothing?
No.
Oh, jeez. A 911 call from a homeowner living on State Road 21 just south of Keystone reported a man stealing items from the home. He was identified as the stepson of the 911 caller. Good grief. The suspect was arrested on the spot, no pun intended, and 3 other warrants have been issued for other suspects involved.
Good.
Finally, here's your Austin's Weather Service quick and dirty forecast region. Plenty of warmth. Way to rain showers Wednesday through Friday. Here's Austin with the latest and greatest. Welcome in, Austin. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. We are sitting in a blockbuster cold snap right now with temperatures in the upper 30s. A hard freeze warning will go in effect at midnight through 10 a.m. Cover those pipes, please, because any uncovered pipes will burst tonight with temperatures dropping as low as 25 to 30. A wind chill advisory is in effect. I had some questions coming in. What is a wind chill advisory? It's when the National Weather Service issues that advisory due to wind chill values lower than 20 degrees Fahrenheit, as Florida people and other people are not susceptible to the cold. This is also a precaution for homeless people, and this cold snap will end tomorrow, and temperatures will rise up to near 80 by Friday. Then another cool down will come, but not as cold as this one.
Thank you, Austin. Thank you so much, Austin. And that is your quick and dirty for this Tuesday night, brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. From the coming cooler weather to a flash forecast, find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook. All right. We did the research. And tonight, we absolutely know who Roger's long lost daddy is. Give me a drum roll, please. Yes, I know nothing is. None other. Bull crap. You is Tommy Chesney. Roger's daddy. Congratulations, Tommy and Roger. Yeah, that's right. Oh, boy.
I know nothing.
Yeah. Yes, Tommy, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, boy. All right. Good, ready to get into the show again. Welcome in, guys, to On the Spot with David Rodgers, live right here on Tuesday night, right here from the EOC. Gordon Smith and his crew. Thank them for everything that they do right here. Every single time we do this, man. This is a great venue to do it. We have plenty of room, and their hospitality is just wonderful. So anytime that you see the sheriff or any of their crew out, thank them for letting us do the show here, and you're able to watch it from your house and able to see the sheriff's office right here. Right, look at this logo back here, beautiful logo back here. Before I get into Mitchell with the local news, I want to welcome in Austin Stevens is here. Billy Rayburn, Dwight Allen, Jason Vaught, Sarge. Good evening, fellow Patriots, Dwight Allen says. How about it, Jason? Good evening. Bart Norton is on. Archie Waters.
Good evening.
Yeah, there we go. So, again, welcome in. Let's see who else we got. We got Jimmy Sparks. I used to work with Jimmy as well. Angie Rogers is on. Hello, Angie. Jimmy Sparks. Hey, buddy. Lucy Davis is on. Mike Qualls is on. Hey, guys, looking good. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. I'm glad you two are looking good. But anyway, so.
Mike's got a quote for us, too, by the way.
Yeah. Michael Qualls, I have a quote from the great Vince Lombardi for our president. Michael, you haven't never been on the show, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to go ahead and give us that quote.
All right. Well, that quote is, although we strive for perfection, we will never attain it. But along the way, we will shake hands with excellence. And when you think about our president, he ain't polished.
Nope.
He ain't perfect.
Nope.
But he is shaking hands with excellence.
Yes, he is. So, absolutely, Mike. We appreciate that. Thank you, Mike. That's a great. Yeah,
that's a great.
Yeah, that's a great quote too. And if y'all don't know who Vince Lombardi is, only one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the National Football League. So we just won't even. We could add all kinds of icing to that, but we'll just leave that alone. There's no need to add icing.
There's a bunch of coaches.
Yeah, Lombardi is said yes.
Yep.
So,
and I bet you there's some that we can't repeat that he.
I'm sure there is. There's some locker room. Yeah,
I can promise you that.
Jason Vaught says, "Get them fireplaces inspected." Absolutely. Make sure you do get your fireplaces inspected. We've got a guy that works at the fire department right here, our director, Michael Heater, and he'll tell you the same thing. And I think he said that before anyway when we were talking about home safety and things like that. So, oh boy, Tommy might be his daddy, but he looks and acts like you. Billy Rayberg, are you off your meds again? That's all I got to say to that. Billy Rayberg is off his meds. I'm telling you right now. Billy Rayberg, go get them meds before you start watching the show.
It's not his meds.
Oh, what is it?
Painting on that Ford and his paint.
Oh, it's paint fumes. He's been in. Okay, yeah, there you go. Burn back.
You missed Matt.
Did I miss Matt?
Yep.
Okay, hello, Matt. Byron Bagwell. Did you join? Yeah, I joined. Okay. How about Shirley Bagwell?
Oh, yeah, Mom's here.
Mom's on here. Yeah, good evening, Mom. How are you? Noah Gibson. How are you? You two knuckles. Oh, my goodness. Mr. Mitchell absent? Nope. Mr. Mitchell is here.
I'm here now.
The scout and lookout for terrorism and anything that doesn't belong and is out of place. Gunner is here. Say hello to everybody, Mitchell.
Good afternoon.
There you go. Sandy's joined us. Billy, I have shook the hand of the show pony. That is excellent. Oh, boy. Protest was peaceful yesterday. Yes, it was. We're going to get in there. We're going to get into that as well. Again, thank you for joining us on the spot with David Rodgers. To my left, I got Mr. Byron Bagwell. To my right, I got Mr. Mitchell Gunner just now joining us. Over here to my right, I got Mr. Dave Holland producing the show. Back here in the back, we got Mr. Snopes Probst, Mr. John Probst back here, Mr. Michael Heater directing the show. Got Mr. Austin Stevens right here with All Weather. And joining us in tonight, just to view in, is Mr. Michael Qualls, manager over there at the Tractor Supply. He's just coming in here to check out the show. And we welcome anybody to come in here and check out the show. Anybody that wants to come in here live and see what we do, we welcome you to come on down. There's plenty of room, plenty of seats. We had a crowd Saturday night. Man, that was off the chain. So, hey, anytime you want to come down and see what we do, please come on down. All right, without further ado, we're going to get right into the show with our local and regional news. I'm going to turn it over and some happenings. I'm going to turn it over to Mitchell, Lookout, the scout and the lookout gunner. Go ahead, Mitchell.
All right. Most people know that the state is investigating the high school graduation rates.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the problem is they're seeing that there is a number of students that are dropping out of school to go to homeschool or elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And this has got the numbers kind of looking a little cattywampus.
That would be a technical term.
That would be a great word.
So right now, the Florida Department of Education's Office of Inspector General is looking at these situations. In December, a letter was written by the Education Commissioner because they saw an abnormal high number of students withdrawals from the high school in the year of 2018 and 2019 school years.
Right.
This was to enter homeschool. Why this is important is that the graduation rates is one of the factors that are used to determine the high school grades, and also they use those grades and test scores for ways to get funding
Mm-hmm.
and performance bonuses.
Right.
So with the allegations, on Monday, January the 13th, the school board voted to retain an attorney for Superintendent Stacy Creighton. The attorney is Terry Hartman from the law firm Sniffen and Spellman, which is located in Tallahassee. Terry Hartman also was hired by Manatee County deputy superintendent that was also being investigated by the state. And Manatee County was being investigated under similar suspicions that, you know, the dropout rates and their numbers and stuff just wasn't quite
jiving, yes.
matching up.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, with that being said, I'm not pointing no finger at nobody. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty of doing something wrong.
Yep.
So this could be just a big misunderstanding
Sure. It could.
Mm-hmm.
with the Department of Education and with our school board.
Could be clerical error too, by the way.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, anything. You're right.
So, I mean, the Telegraph done a real good story on this. And I'll tell you, you need to pick you up last week's paper and read it if you haven't already done so. But I'm going to go ahead and I want to quote something that school board member Erica Reddish said.
Okay.
She encourages the public to reach out to their representatives on the board when a matter arises rather than address it on social media. So if you got a problem, pick up that telephone, contact that representative, or go to that school board meeting and get up at that podium and tell them what the problem is that is aggravating you and see if they can give you an answer, you know, in the weeks ahead.
Right.
Because that's the only way that you're going to find out answers is asked.
Right.
Well, and the other thing about doing that is that's how you're going to get something done about it. If you put something out on social media, what's going to happen is you're going to start a firestorm, and you may get something done, but you're not going to get anything done as fast because you're sitting there talking to the people that can do something about it right then.
Well, and also it may not get done the right way. Yeah, it may get done the negative way. And like Mitchell said, we're not throwing anybody under the bus here at all. We don't know what's going on. Right. Like Byron said, it could be a clerical error. Clerical error, like you said, it just could be a big misunderstanding. And you know, like you were saying, if you throw it out there on Facebook and any kind of social media, all you're going to get is what generally is the negative backlash of that particular deal. So
exactly,
let the people handle it that needs to be handling it.
Well, I'm going to go over some graduation rates. Excuse me, tongue twister tonight. I've been running around checking on fires.
Yes, you have. Well, you're going to talk about that here in a minute.
But our graduation rate for 2014-15 was 76.9%. Years 15 and 16 was 83.7%. 16 and 17 was 78.9%. 17 and 18 was 89%. And 18 and 19 was 87.7%. Now, to get back to comparison to other counties in our area, for 2019, Columbia County was 92.4% that graduated. Clay County, 91.9%. Alachua County, 88.5%. Bradford, 87.7%. Now, for the state average, is 86.9%.
So we're almost a percentage, almost a percentage higher.
The state average. Union County is 84.4%, and Baker County is 78.8%. So I think we're moving in the right direction as long as, you know, things haven't been corrupted, which I seriously doubt they have, because all their policies and procedures have to go through the school board attorney and also be approved by the school board. And they do that by going through those workshops. And also they address it during public meetings. For everyone to hear. So if they think that the public thinks that if there's a problem, they can have a chance to get up there and talk about it beforehand. So, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to another story. This is happening down in Miami. large police presence is in front of former NFL player Antonio Brown's home. The scene is currently active, and we're waiting for updates. I know that he has been somewhat.
He's deranged anyway.
He's been somewhat.
Rodell Beckham.
Yeah. With some
but worse.
But right.
Yeah.
He's not sane. You listen to him and you listen to him talk and how he talks and the way he talks and the way he acts. The man has a mental issue.
Well, you know how they talk about Hernandez.
Yep.
With the brain damage and stuff that he had.
Right.
Maybe this guy needs to get his scruples looked at and see if they're still all in place.
Hernandez didn't have brain. Lord, that's not the reason why he did what he did. He was a thug. That's why he did what he did. He was a thug most of his life, and it just carried on into his career. And he did something really stupid.
Yes, he
did. Is what he did, and he got caught. God, that man.
Yeah,
I hate when people make that excuse for anybody, because you can make excuses for anybody for doing that, but you have to have a set of moral values that tells you don't go out and murder people.
Well, I was thinking what the University of Florida. I know he played under Urban Meyer and. Great football player. There's no doubt about it. Great talent. Probably could have been one of the best tight ends to ever play the position. He could line out wide, and we can get it out in the sports section. And he could definitely run and get down the field like a receiver, and was big enough to still block. But I think that what they were hoping was when he got these big contracts, got his big home, he was clean himself up, get away from the thug life. But what's the old saying? You can take what? You can take the thug out of the hood,
but you can't take the hood out of the
thug. And that's exactly right. I'm sorry. That's just the way that it is. And sometimes, and that applied to Aaron Hernandez. And what a waste of talent. I'll tell you what, I used to watch that guy play. And I'm not even a Florida fan and not even a New England fan, but I did like to watch him play.
He was a good player.
Yep. And this Antonio Brown is just, he's just off his rocker here. Michael can tell you here, he likes sports as well. Hey, when you try to go to 4 different teams in 1 year and you can't make none of them, obviously you've got a problem somewhere.
Well, with the talent he's got, how do you not make the Patriots? Because they have dealt with people that other than
I think Belichick couldn't handle him either.
I think another problem you're going to see is that they're talking about college students now getting paid for their names and name recognition. And when you think about, young kids and that almighty dollar that they're looking at, what is that going to do for their college before they ever even get to the pros? Now, are you going to start seeing more of this before they ever even make the pros and make that money? Are they going to be into drugs? Are they going to be pulled over with truckloads of marijuana in their cars because they now will be getting the money that you see some of these superstars that as soon as they got the money, their careers went downhill.
Right.
And when they go downhill like that, they go fast.
They go really fast.
And they never usually get back up. A lot of times
they can't rebound from that because, one, they're not brought up with that money.
Correct.
And now you're going to give it to them in the college level before they ever even get to the pros.
Right.
I would say you might see 50% of them will never make it to the pros because now they don't have that pushing them to succeed.
Correct.
They don't have that opportunity.
They don't have the incentive.
Exactly.
And I know we're on the local stuff, and we'll get into the sports on that. But just one quick thing right there, Mike. I don't think this is ever going to happen, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
Because how can you say? And I'll get into the sports. Yeah,
California's doing that. It's going to ruin
college football. Period. All over the landscape.
What it's going to do is it's going to ruin college football in California before it ruins college football everywhere else. And I hope they wake up and go, we're not doing this everywhere else.
Here's my quick thing on that, just real quick, and I'll let you get back. Mike, let's say you're a 5-star. I'm a 3-star player. Okay? We both come on. We make the team. My stats are just as good as your stats. But you're a 5-star, I'm a 3-star, where you differentiate and pay. Why would Mike get more money than me because he's a 5-star and I'm a 3-star, You see what I'm saying? But we're both playing on the same team. We're both starting, and we're both saying we've got the same stats. Why should Michael get paid more than me? And I think that's why you're never going to see this, because you're never going to be able to equate the pay from one guy to the next.
Some of them play great at the college level, and when they hit the pro level, can't play the game.
Can't play the game.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, one of the greatest the greatest college quarterbacks I've ever seen in this area was a great college quarterback, but he was not a great NFL quarterback. And that was Danny Werfel.
Yep, Danny Werfel.
And that was Danny Werfel. I mean, he was truly great on the college level, but when he got into the NFL, he wasn't good.
Right.
Even when Spurrier took the Redskins.
Yeah, he's still,
Got to give him that chance.
He didn't have the arm strength and the offensive design that Spurrier was trying to run. You throw 40-yard pass, and that ball's not getting there really quick. It's going to give those NFL DBs a chance to
intercept the ball
or knock it away.
And
that's what Danny Werfel's problem was.
Never
if they had designed something small, dink and dunk like West Coast offense with him, and put him in there, he might have been good. But we'll never know.
Go ahead, Mitchell. Sorry about that. Just got on Antonio. Let's get back to some local
stuff. Over in Micanopy, FDOT is proposing to add a traffic signal at US 441 and County Road 234. FDOT is making FDOT is making the changes to US 441. For those will hopefully improve safety for the drivers.
Right.
A young man was killed there not too long ago, and it has been hard on his family. And this lady, Kelly Harris, says she goes by there every day and she sees the little memorial that's set up for this young man. And I'm glad something's getting done somewhere. We have a couple of intersections right here in our own neck of the woods that need traffic signals pretty bad.
That's a dangerous signal.
I'm actually going to get back on the phone with them tomorrow.
Okay.
And see where we're at. We're getting the surveys out there on 225 and 16.
Right.
And what was actually the findings of the survey that was done on 144th and 100.
Wingberry Road and 100.
Well, Meangdairy Road, I tell you what, since those no passing zones has been put there, you can probably ask Michael Heater. The wrecks in that area has probably went down about what,
Mike,
85%?
How many wrecks have been there since that?
Zero.
One. He says one.
That was due to a deer.
And that was due to a deer.
Right.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Makes a huge difference.
So it makes a huge difference.
It really has helped a lot. And that's what we got to try to do is keep the pressure on them and try to get those signals here.
Right.
I actually had the chance to talk to Bobby Payne on Sunday and told him what I was trying to do. And he actually supposed to have some meetings, I think, with DOT this Wednesday. And maybe he'll bring it up to them. Maybe that put a little fire in their step.
Yep.
If not, then I'll just go right through the proper channels again, write an email to Bobby Payne's office and have him send it up to Tallahassee and see if we can get it done a little quicker.
Sounds good to me.
Now, this is out there near your neck of the woods.
Oh, that's over there by Mobile. Yeah, Fairhope. Yeah, okay.
Fairhope team was arrested on 19 felony charges, including child pornography. Hopeville police said 19-year-old Jordan Williams had a bond hearing on Monday, January the 20th, and his bond was set at $495,000.
Wow.
Williams is being charged with 10 counts of possession of obscene material of a person under the age of 17, an additional of 5 accounts producing unseen material, 1 account for citation, and 1 count of controlled substance to a person under the age of 18. So they really need to throw him up underneath the jail.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, with a bond over $400,000, he's not going to get out anytime soon. I can promise you that.
There's only one cure.
I promise you that.
Right.
On some other news, just in, CSX is saying that due to the freeze overnight, the railroad crossing and Strawberry Acres north of Stark will reopen tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. The road has been closed all day for crossing repairs.
How about that? That's exactly
Also
right.
to mention tonight, the Bradford County Relay for Life done their kickoff party at the Downtown Grill. So they're getting ready to kick off the 2020 year. And one of the events that's coming up real soon is the car show out at the Florida Cracker Kitchen on
Yours truly is hosting?
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. On the 29th of February. So if you got a car, bring it out. It's only $15 entry. I think right now we're trying to gear toward a Best of Show award, top 20. We're going to have an early bird award that will go to the person who gets there first.
Wow.
And no, you cannot bring your car and park it there overnight. It has to be that morning. So can't play
glad you explained that one. Yeah.
So, and I think we're also going to try to do Best Ford, Best Chevrolet, Best Mopar, and Best Import. So we're trying to bring some of the awards. I like to change them up so often, and also club participation. So if you got a car club, tell them to line up and bring them in. And I'm telling you, you can't hardly beat going to a show for $15 because most of these car shows, they'll charge you $25 to $30.
Yeah.
And the reason why I try to keep it around 15 because I know a lot of people that's out of our area that's in Jacksonville or Lake City, you know, they have to drive.
Right.
And some people don't want to drive that far and pay $30 to enter a car show. So we try to keep it low, to keep our numbers up high. And all that money goes to American Cancer Society. And if you ever want to know, we can actually put up a thing on our page where all that money goes and how it's separated out. You know, some of this money is used to go toward the Hope Lodge, and that is for people who are having to get chemo treatments and stuff. And you know, chemo will really wear you out, so they offer a place for you to stay and sleep the night before you have to go back home. Or you know, in most cases, sometimes you've got 2 or 3 treatments in a day. It's just according how the treatment is going. But yeah, I love being a part of that fight against cancer and looking for a cure. Maybe one day we won't have to worry about it. We can totally wipe it out.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
And you know, it's the one thing that does not discriminate.
I want to.
It will hit you. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic.
Right.
It can get you.
I want to let you know, too, on the spot, that breaking news about CSX was done right here first, ladies and gentlemen. That's breaking news. That has been nowhere else. So you're hearing that first right here. Just got a little something in from our mom, Miss Shirley Bagwell. Something I'd like for you to work on, Mitchell, if you could, and maybe research. Shirley says there is no designated homeless shelter.
She asked where the homeless shelter was, and Michael wrote this. He's responding to
it. The closest shelters are the St. Francis House in Gainesville and several locations in Jacksonville and Orange Park. Anyone who needs housing assistance can call 211 for United Way Social Services. Again, that number is 211 for United Way Social Services. Nobody, ladies and gentlemen, I don't give a darn who you are, should be sleeping out here these next 2 nights in freezing cold. We should be able to have a place where we can put these people.
Especially tonight.
Yeah, especially tonight. That wind chill factor is going to get down, ain't it, Austin?
15 to 20 here in the Bradford County area.
Now there are times when a cold weather shelter is established.
Okay.
None of them have been opened locally, but we're double checking that now. We should have answers for you in the next 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, so we'll have an answer for you right here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, on the spot with David Rodgers. Thank you guys for joining us. Just want to go real quick to the show team. Mr. Byron Bagwell, Mr. Mitchell Gunner, got Michael Qualls in here joining us tonight from Tractor Supply. We got Mr. Dave Holland, our producer, Mr. Michael Heater, our director back here, Mr. Snopes Post right here, operating all those comments. We've got Austin, the weatherman Stevens, the guy that knows it all. It is all. Austin, by the way, put your hands together for Mr. Austin Stevens. He is the crew member or the crew staff member of the month, Mr. Austin Stevens. The reason Mr. Austin Stevens is the crew or staff member of the month is because he's taken on the task of trying to get all our videos on YouTube, which, by the way, will be simulcasting here very shortly. As soon as we mesh those together, you'll be able to watch this on Facebook Live and YouTube. But you can actually go back after the show. Generally, it's downloaded either that night, Austin, or the first thing in the morning, right?
It is downloaded officially when I get back to my house. It is downloaded because
Okay.
the shows are not that big. And tonight I have made it. It will be on YouTube within 30 minutes to 2 hours after the show has broadcast.
Has
on
aired.
Facebook.
Right. And that's for you, Sarge. You asked me about that today. So you'll be able to go back and watch that YouTube 30 minutes to 2 hours after this show. So, man, hey, that's awesome, isn't it?
Great.
And once we'll be able to simulcast both of those, that's even going to be even better because some people don't have Facebook. Some people don't like Facebook. Hey, they go to YouTube to watch whatever it is that they watch. You know, they listen to music, you know, their podcast or whatever, and they can catch this one right there, right along with it, on the spot with David Rodgers and the whole gang right here.
View it and tell your friends about it.
Absolutely. Share the mess out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Dave, let's get us some comments, and then we're going to get over to our national right here. Oh, you got one more
I got
thing?
a couple other things.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I just want to mention that Jeff Luke is still doing a great job. One of the buildings that's near New Methodist Cleaners, that one's actually being tore down as well. I'm glad he's keeping up the
bicycle shop?
Yep,
Yep.
it's gone. So I'm really glad that the city's got somebody in there that's enforcing this, and I'm actually going to bring it to the attention to our county commissioners. We need to start doing the same thing in the county with some of our properties that are just totally devastated and needs to be tore down, you know, or, you know, we don't want other people's property values to go down because someone next to them wants to keep their yard like a junkyard.
Right.
You know, they shouldn't have to put up with that.
Right.
So hopefully we can start venturing out in the county and start making other people clean up their messes as well. But we need to start going toward the same steps that the city has been taking here
Right.
the past couple of months. We need to implement that into the county. And
Gotcha.
and I hate to say it, I know some people that's got some yards like that.
Oh, yeah. There's
And, I like them, but I'm sorry, you got to clean up your yard. You know,
Well, we're trying to beautify Bradford
beautify
County.
our county, right.
Beautify our county. Man, you know, if a business wants to come in here,
not gonna come in
they're not
here
going to come in here if they
pigsty.
see, and it looks like a pigsty. And that's exactly right. Eye appeal is like the number one thing when you come in. Can you imagine the big dog from Amazon coming through here? Oh, let me go and... Nah, never mind. Golly, man, the first three buildings I see look like
Right.
trash.
right.
And you're going to turn them off.
And you're driving down or up Orange Street,
Yes,
and you come up to the stop sign.
right,
And right across the street, there's a house.
right.
It's gone now.
Right.
But
Right.
for years.
Yeah, that was right in front of the Votech.
Yeah.
For years.
Well, it used to be the Votech. Now it's the vocational college.
Eye appeal and curb appeal is the main thing that people are looking for, man. If your town is trash, they're not going to bring their beautiful warehouse in here and 300 or 400 jobs in here. They're just not going to do it. And if they do it, I'm telling you what, they would probably just clean it up themselves and say, hey, give me a break on everything. I'll come in here and clean the daggum place up for you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want people's property looking
No,
that way.
absolutely not.
No,
Not at all.
and another thing, I know we do have some people that are elderly
Mhm.
and they can't get out there no more and do that. And I want to see why in the world we can't use those people that have to give community service
Sure.
Do that.
to clean up the yards for them.
Yeah.
Well, then if you guys think about when we were younger, the things that we could do in Bradford County and Stark, that there isn't out there right now. And the Fun Point just now opening up kind of turns that back around to, you know, families want to go out and have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Where can a family go today that they can have fun? And of course, the Fun Point just opening up. But when we were growing up, we had the bowling alley. We had all
Right.
kind of things that families got to enjoy together.
Right.
If you want to take your family out, you're going out of town. You're taking your money
Gainesville,
outside of
Orange
town,
Park,
and
Jackson.
you're not leaving it here local.
Right.
And I've always said if we focused more on family-oriented businesses that will give the families activities to do, whether it be a bowling alley, whether it be putt-putt golf, whether it be a little go-kart track,
Skating rink.
a skating rink, whatever it is, Now you're giving the people in this area something that they can come and spend their money locally.
Right.
And the local money will help to clean the city up. It will help to clean areas up. And when the city gets that extra money, then they can turn that back in and start putting that money into a more useful resource.
Sure.
And Dave actually hit on a point, the new splash park that they just put at Edwards Road.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people was disappointed because I think with all the grant money and everything, it cost about $500,000.
Yeah.
But go ahead and let everybody know that $500,000 does not just build the splash
No.
park. They use that money to widen the sidewalks there at the complex. They remodeled the bathrooms to make them all ADA compliant, which is something that really needed to be done because, we have a lot of grandparents that can't walk and they have to use wheelchairs and walkers, and they want to go out there and they want to see their grandkids play ball as well. And it's something that really needed to be done. I think, don't quote me, but I think the price to do the splash park by itself was probably around $100,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So there's a lot of people upset, and they think they see $500,000,
and they say, "Where is it?"
Right.
There's a lot more involved in that.
When you talk about that ADA, not only does that need to be done.
Oh, you have to meet the law.
You have to meet the law
because the safety standards alone, the safety part of it alone, takes a lot of that money.
All it takes is one person going in there and complaining about it and suing Bradford County. That's all it takes.
And say, for instance, those bathrooms, it's not just widen out the door to get into the bathroom, but you have to remodel that inside that bathroom to make the stalls the correct stall and the rails exactly. The toilet, you got to replace the toilets. They got to be at a certain height. Ramps. So there's a lot that goes into it, and I think it's money that was well spent.
And it really shows it starts growing.
Yeah, right.
And that's what we need. We need growth.
I am going to give a plug to the Stark Theater because there is one other place that you can take your family, and that's Florida Twin Theaters here in Stark.
And speaking of the Stark Theater, I know everybody knows that Lee Sparks, had passed away. He has ran that place for a very, very long time, and he will definitely be missed.
No doubt.
I went to the service on Sunday, and I'm telling you, it was a well done service. Everyone who spoke, Terry Vaughn done a great job. We had Robert Starling get up there and talk. We had Lena Rodgers, which has worked for Lee for a very long time. She got up there and spoke, and Chrissy Thompson.
Doesn't that make you feel good when you see a community like
this? Come together. You better
come together. And you hate that we have to come together for such a loss like Lee.
Right.
I pretty much feel like I growed up with Lee from the time I was young, going to the movie theaters, and it's heartbreaking as it is, but it makes you feel good when you can stand back and see a community come together like that.
Exactly.
And it just shows that what Bradford County and this community is all about is we're all family. Yeah. And when someone like that passes away, it strikes us all to the core. It hits us all in our heart, and it just makes you feel good to know that this community, man, we're here for everybody. We're here for each other. And as hard as that was to go through and to lose a good person like Lee, it still shows that, we're here. We're going to be here. Bradford County's not going nowhere. And it just makes you proud to see that kind of turnout and respect.
Well, it just showed how much he was loved by the community.
Right.
And, there's a lot of things that Lee done behind the scenes that people didn't know about his involvement. He was one of the founders for the pumpkin escape. If it wasn't for him,
he was an advocate about the electricity bill.
Yes,
and man, he would stand up for you and fight for that electricity bill for all the businesses. He was the voice. Every time you'd open up that paper, Lee Sparks was right there, man, giving it to him, giving them the business. Right. That's the kind of dude he was. Right. Hey, he just wants to be fair across the board, and that's the way he was.
If you done something good, he patted you on the back.
Yes, he did.
But if you done something bad,
he called you out on it.
And he put your feet on the seat. He'd call you
on it.
And he was very professional. Yes, he would. He was very professional about when he done that, And like he had told him one time up there at City Hall, he says it's nothing personal. This is business.
Mhm.
And pretty much what I've told our commissioners when I get
Right.
there and I chew on them a little bit, it's nothing personal.
Nope.
It's business.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Lee had one of these.
A big heart.
I will tell you what. I don't know how many guys y'all done it many a times. You'd be standing there, watch 5, 6 kids right in front of you, knowing they don't have a pot to pee in. And guess what Lee would do? Come on in. Come on in. And not only watch the movie, you get popcorn and drinks. I've seen it because I'd ask him, "Hey, you want me to pay?" Nope. They just let them go. They're good. That's just the way it is.
On what's going to happen with our movie theater.
Well, I seen the son out there tonight when I was coming in tonight. He was opening up the doors. He was getting, they're opening up for business, and he looked like he was at the window running the joint. Good. So, and we talked about that. Remember, I wanted, keeping it alive. And he's a good kid, too. He's a good man. I mean, he's a man now, but he's a good man. Justin. Yes, I couldn't recollect his name, but yes, Justin. Well, I think we'll do a good job there. All right, what else you got?
You want to do a little bit of breaking news, or you want me to?
Yeah, no, you do.
Okay, there's some breaking news. There are no cold weather shelters open across North Florida. Shelters are open down south, including Miami-Dade, Broward, Hillsborough, Tampa, Charlotte, Highlands, and DeSoto counties. There's a little bit more breaking news. A small plane has crashed just short of the Tallahassee airport. 1 injury, no deaths.
Wow. So you heard it right here first, right? On the spot with David Rodgers. Again, thank you for joining us. By the way, I think Mr. Michael Heater forgot to sound the horn. We're an audience-driven overtime. I said that's right. We was an audience-driven overtime.
Did y'all on UND, since I mentioned it, did y'all mention the wreck that was out on US 301?
No, they were going to get to it.
We thought too,
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and get
get into that.
Early this morning, probably around 6 o'clock, there was a traffic accident around 225, County Road 225, and US 301.
Right.
Right there close to the old Oasis bar.
Right.
I know the man who passed away was a resident of Bradford County. He was 42 years old, and I'm trying to think of his name because someone told me his name.
I didn't catch his name
I
either.
cannot think of his name.
Harold Johnson.
Who?
That's it.
Harold Johnson.
Harold Johnson. Thank you. Harold Johnson, he died of injuries. I heard that he may have been ejected out of the vehicle.
Yeah, the Highway Patrol is investigating the report of a 2-vehicle crash. Both vehicles landed in the median. Mr. Johnson was ejected from his vehicle and died as a result of the injuries sustained.
Wow.
So let's keep
that
family
in their prayers. Along with everybody that's having some kind of trouble or some kind of issue here in Bradford County. Mike brings up a good point. You know, we all love each other here. This is what it is. We're about one big family. We do this show because we want to bring the information to you. We want to bring it to you as clearly and as best as possible. Sure. People that can't get out, people that can't get a paper, people that don't have internet and can get Facebook or whatever, or any kind of social media. We do this so we can bring it to you. Like you were saying about the county commissioners meeting, some of these people can't go to those county commissioners meetings. That's why we have our local guy right here go and bring the information to you. So I
try to do as much as possible.
And you pretty much go all the time. So I appreciate what you're doing. So
send me up there to the Senate.
Oh, yeah, here we go. All right, before we get to your segment, let's get us some here or there. Noah, thank you. I'm glad that you're on some allergy meds. Hi, Mr. David, Mr. Bagwell, Mr. Mitchell. Hey, Noah, hi, you. We addressed the homeless thing right there. Yes, we did. Miss Bagwell, thank you for joining us in. I just like calling her mom. So, Mr. Scout, that's you. Having phone issues.
Yeah, she still hasn't brought us that cake. So.
Yeah, having phone issues. Dwight Allen was, so I guess we lost him. We lost him a little bit there.
Okay, I've said this 3 or 4 times, but congratulations, brother.
Yeah, congratulations again to you as well. Those were 2 nice ones, wasn't they?
Yes, they were.
Yeah. Please protect your pets tonight. Dorothy Starling, Noah Gibson, especially with coyotes and birds of prey out there or any apex predators. Must be talking about you, Mitchell. Can you speak my mind on the spot, crew at the school board? I'm not happy with private school closures and homeschool investigations.
What private school is?
Yeah, what private?
Question. I don't.
Do you know of any? I don't know. Do you know of any?
I haven't heard of any, but I'm sure Mitchell will figure it out.
Yeah, Mitchell will figure it out if there is. Okay. Well, why don't you enlighten us, Noah?
Really surprised.
For that investigation, there may not be anything that even comes out of it.
Right.
So usually when something like that happens, someone has filed an ethics complaint against someone, either a school board member or superintendent, And so they have to take that ethics complaint. They have to do an investigation and see if there's anything that has happened that's illegal.
Right.
Which, in fact, what we was talking about a while ago, Manatee County did have to obtain that same attorney, but they were found by doing some stuff wrong and fixing grades. So.
Right. Becky Norton, thank you for joining us, and Beckham Goins. My kin said that Miami is crazy anyway. Everybody knows that. Hello, fellows. It's going to be a great show tonight. Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dave Holland. Morale pigs eroding. Yep. Be back. Jason Smith. Thank you. Eddie Sigmund, Sheila Lyons, Carlton Jones, Donna Shad Harvey. I used to work with her. Noah again. Mr. Vaught. All right, man. I know you got to get up early. So do I. And we'll go right there. I just seen that. We'll get to you here in a minute. Patricia Baker, you probably got the best comment up there, praying for all the homeless people who will be out in the cold tonight. And there's going to be some, that's for sure. So I just hope they found, some blankets and some things to warm up with. That's for sure. What's going on in the old Peepo place across from the Dunkin' Donut? Peppo, excuse me.
Oh, they're condemned, that building.
Actually, that's the old S&G gas station.
Yes.
Code enforcement for the city of Stark reported that they had finally had enough of it, that land was literally repossessed by the city of Stark. The building was torn down. The gas tanks have been removed. The entire lot is going to be
one of the big issues.
Yeah, the lot is going to be completely paved over, with the soil removed, and then that property with a parking lot already available will then be turned over to for marketing and for sale for another business to move in and start to build. They anticipate the turnaround time within the next 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months.
And those gas tanks, they came out this week.
Yes, they are out.
Did.
Again,
those had been an issue for a long
time.
I worked there when I was 16, and they were an issue back then.
Yeah.
If you do the math on that, them gas
Don't do the math.
You want us to do the math out on that? Okay, I was just going to do the math on that. Yeah, you got to do the math on me too. Oh, goodness.
Wait a minute now.
We
went to school together and we're in the same grade. What you talking about?
Well, because I'm older than you guys, just by a little bit, though.
No.
Now,
Just
Michael,
a little bit.
so that was turned back over to the city. So when the city does sell it,
Get the revenue from it.
they get the revenue from it.
That's my understanding.
That is
again,
smart.
that's going to be a code issue, but I believe that it was literally repossessed or taken possession by the city of Stark, and therefore any sale would the revenue would then return to the
That's
city.
real smart.
That's real smart.
To offset the cost of the cleanup.
Of the cleanups.
demolition.
Okay.
And there is another building that's being torn down right there where the dry cleaners is.
Yeah, the New Methods Cleaners.
Cleaners.
Yeah.
Mhm.
cleaning Stark up.
Cleaning it up.
That's going back to the city as well.
Really? Good.
The other one is that the old bowling alley is slated to come down.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
As is the old KFC, which is
Really?
a Chinese restaurant on the north
Yeah.
end. That's also slated for demolition.
I wonder
Good.
if he's been listening to our show, because we have been hitting on all these buildings.
I think he has.
Or some may have had lunch with them.
Well, whichever. Noah Gibson, the theater is open as of tonight. I seen the young man, his son out there. It is open for business, so the theater is open. Yes,
Fixing
sir.
Everything.
Yeah.
Good. That's
So-
really good.
I want to bring in right now. We've got a couple of guests, guys, and if I could just get you to stand behind me, I'm gonna bring in a couple of guests right here. I'm gonna bring in Matt and Nikki.
Wait.
What do you got?
Wait. Read.
Oh, Miss Bagwell.
Yeah.
Promise a cake soon. Are you saying Bradford County doesn't have any place for the homeless to go tonight? Yes,
exactly
ma'am.
right.
Miss Bagwell, yes, ma'am, Mom. We are saying that, and it's unfortunate. Guys, y'all can stand behind me here. I'm going to bring in Matt, Nikki Plum. Come on in, guys. Come on in and join us. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. Hey, how you doing, Nikki? You doing all right? Hey, Matt, how's it going? I guess you've met everybody. Mitchell and Byron back here, my co-hosts. We always try to get some kind of guest onto our show. If you watch Saturday Night Show, we brought on Kevin Kedgley, does a little acting. We also brought on Bart Norton, my partner in On the Spot Lawn Maintenance. But I've got something that's going on here this weekend that I'd like these two great folks to talk about. It's called Operation Plum, is what we've got. So how about that, Operation Plum? No, you're not going to pick plums. or anything like that. We're going to explain exactly what's going on with that. So come join us Saturday, and I'll let you get into it. I'll just read a little bit here, and you can tell us what this is all about, man. Come join us on Saturday, January 25th, and Sunday, January 26th, from 12 noon till. Location is going to be at the Timbuktu, 17422 U.S. Highway 301 North, Start, Florida, 32091. They will be grilling up their delicious food to raise money for lawyer bills from recent unexpected emergencies. Come show your support. The menu right here, it says all beef hot dogs. All beef?
All
Really?
beef.
All beef.
All beef.
All beef.
$2
Hey.
or 2 for $3. That sounds like a good deal. You gonna have some chili on those dogs?
I can.
There she can.
Let
She
me know
says.
when you'll be there.
There you go. Hamburgers, $5, topped with cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickles, sausages. Wow, what, really? With sauteed pepper and onions
Oh,
for
yeah.
$6?
Yep.
French fries for $2?
That's
Then
right.
how about this? A 50-50 rally and a gun raffle. For more information to purchase raffle tickets, they can call you, Nikki, right?
Right.
352-514-9790. And on that winning, you don't have to be present to win. Matt, tell us, or both of you, I'll go to you first. Tell us what this is all about and what this is in conjunction with.
Well, we started a business. It's called Plum Delicious, and what we do is we cook food trays, baked ziti, lasagna, shepherd's pie. We do all sorts of stuff. We go out to local areas and we grill, and we feed people, and we do it here in the community. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to raise money for some expenses that have been upcoming to help with the Father's Rights movement and stuff like that. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to generate income and to pay some of these legal fees for fathers and their Father's Rights movement. And what we're trying to do is, on top of that, instead of asking for like a GoFundMe page, we're trying to provide a service, and that service is to feed people. And it's just a 50-50 raffle. We have the gun raffle, and
Wow, tell them about that gun they can win. I've seen the pictures of that thing.
eyes light up.
Yeah. If I show you the pictures, Byron, you will light up.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now.
It's a Springfield Armory Victor Saint. It's a 7.62 .308 interchangeable round. It's an AR-10, 220 round mag pull mags.
You already know that.
It's got 800 rounds of 7.62, brand new, never been shot, not reloaded, in the case. And then a actual gun case, a soft case that actually you can hold other mags and 2 different weapon systems in it.
So you got this gun, obviously, for a raffle. How much are the tickets for this raffle, Matt, on the gun here?
Well, the tickets are $30 for the gun raffle tickets, and we actually have them, and you can actually Cash App it. If you want to contact us, you can get through Nikki Plum or Matt Plum on Facebook. If you guys need, you can contact us through Messenger, or you can contact us however. We're in the community all the time. Anybody see my big bright orange Chevy Tahoe? It's like the Great Pumpkin.
My director says, "Oh, yeah, now it's sinking in, right? Yeah, now it's sinking in."
We work with a lot of local businesses. The Downtown Grill.
Right.
We work with a lot of the pet supply places, and
Christmas on Call Street. We
we
cooked
were
that. A lot of
Christmas
people
on
might
Call
remember
Street.
us.
Actually,
It's your
Did you?
day.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we do. Like, it's your day. Any of the local businesses, we are big promoters of small business. Anyone that wants to get involved, to help out, we are more than welcome. I'm very handy around the house. I can pretty much bake anything you want, from cannoli cheesecakes to Dutch apple pies, double layer chocolate cakes.
No wonder you're into this food thing here, man. Golly, okay. Well, you got a question, Mike?
No, well, just something else too, like that, and that we're, again, part of the community, everything they do like that. We were happy to have them included. That Plum Delicious is one of the show sponsors of On the Spot with David Rodgers. So
How about that?
so
Yeah.
you'll be able to, so people will, every week
Right.
they'll be able to
Yep.
see the information. And post
We've got
that
flyers.
as
We've
well.
got
So,
everything. You can pre-order. If you guys are working here in local businesses, you guys don't have time to go take a lunch break, because then you got to sit in line for 30 minutes, and hopefully the order's
deliver.
right. We deliver for a small
We
fee
deliver.
between $2 to $5, depending on the distance.
We'll deliver. We cater parties. We do all sorts of stuff. We did a wedding that had 200 people, and we did huge trays for that wedding. We'll do birthday parties. We'll do events, special events. I know.
We're doing a Valentine's special too.
Oh yeah.
We're going to be, you can treat your lady to a dinner. She doesn't have to cook a homemade meal. We'll cook it. We'll deliver it. And, we have trays that feed 2 people, and we have trays that feed
8,
like my family,
Right.
big Italian, feast. Everything's homemade, fresh from our garden, straight to their table. I don't use anything boxed, jarred, nothing jarred.
So you get everything fresh right here, right? Everything is
we
fresh.
We stand behind our food.
That's what, man, I'm looking at
Make the pasta too.
I make everything.
Wow.
The sauce takes about 3 to 4 days to make.
Everything.
And
it's guaranteed not
I've
to give you
traveled all
heartburn.
over the world. I've been to 22 countries.
No heartburn.
I've been to Italy, and the red sauce, everywhere else I've paid for with heartburn and indigestion. This is the first red sauce I've ever had that is never.
It was my
given me
grandmother's
heartburn.
secret, so don't ask.
So
You can't get that recipe. It's not for sale.
But you would have.
I would have
See that? Yeah, see that? Yeah.
Efficient.
you can just buy the sauce and enjoy the sauce. It'll be a lot.
We have jarred sauce as well.
Yep, jars of
We
sauce.
are going to be doing one other thing,
Okay.
just to plug it in there. Our 13-year-old daughter had started her own business. She wanted to be an entrepreneur like us.
Right.
So Eliana, she wanted to start making dog beds and blankets,
Okay.
which she was at Christmas on Call Street as well.
And she had her
She
business.
sold out. So some people may remember her from that. I will have dog beds out there, and I will have more blankets that she's
At this
made.
event right here at
At this
Operation
event,
Plum.
correct.
All right, let me give it one more time. This is a great thing y'all are doing, guys.
Thank you.
And we're going to put this also. I'm going to talk to my director and my producer, Mr. Dave Holland. I'm already here. We're going to put this on our on the spot page as well,
Wonderful.
so all our viewers can see this thing. It's Operation Plum on Saturday, January 25th, and Sunday, January 26th, from 12 noon to when. Just whenever y'all sell out or whenever
people aren't
everybody
hungry
goes.
anymore.
Right.
Mhm.
So locations at Timbuktu, that's at 17422 US Highway 301 North Star, Florida, 32091. They'll be grilling up their delicious food to raise money for different things coming up. Come show your support. Menu, all beef hot dogs, $2 or 2 for $3. Go ahead and line me up for
I
2.
got you.
Better yet, line me up for 4. I'm going to feed these guys as well. Hamburgers, $5. Talk with you.
Hey,
Did you like that?
No, save your money on the food. We want you to buy some tickets.
That's right.
Yeah, then you wanted to buy the raffle ticket. Yeah, there you go. Top with cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickles, sausages with sauteed peppers and onions, $6. French fries, $2. You notice that too? 2 and then 1. Yeah, okay. That just 50.
Including Rodgers.
Yeah, well, I got to include my son there. Yeah, 50-50 raffle and a gun raffle. For more information to purchase raffle tickets, he says he's got them. If you see him, make sure you stop him. You can call Nikki right here at 352-514-9790. And you don't have to be present to win.
Nope.
So, guys, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Hey, we hope that everything goes on well for that. Absolutely, all the time, anytime. You'll see that on the spot as well. Again, this is Matt and Nikki Plum. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate it. And make sure you go out there and see these guys
Right.
on at Timbuktu this Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to ask these guys to come on back in right here. You're more than welcome to stay live for the rest of the show, and we can talk afterwards. Absolutely. And
See you on trivia night.
oh yeah, absolutely, trivia night, Thursday nights. That's right. So a lot of people, you're getting a lot of likes and loves right here, guys. So there you go. We've already had our local news portion of this thing. We still got the sports, and we still got some national stuff that we need to get to. So I'm going to turn it over to a guy that fights for your rights and your freedoms, and to be able to live in the greatest country and the freest country in the world today. That's our United States of America.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Byron Bagwell, you do it, brother.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you.
Right.
I wanted to have a little bit of a discussion tonight about something that we were talking about, Saturday night.
Mhm.
We were talking about the impeachment of one of our presidents. Well, want to describe how impeachment is supposed to happen straight from the Constitution. What happens is impeachment is supposed to include treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. And what that last section means, I think people get confused about other high crimes and misdemeanors. And you're talking about crimes that would be equivalent to treason or bribery. Mm-hmm. So what happens with impeachment is Congress gathers up information. They put articles of impeachment together. Once those articles of impeachment are put together, they are sent to the Senate. And what's supposed to happen from that point is the Senate is supposed to actually try the president from those articles of impeachment. Mm-hmm. What we're doing right now is not constitutional.
Amen. I agree.
And here's why. Because when you send over articles of impeachment to the Senate, they're supposed to take that information from those articles of impeachment and make a judgment about whether the president is guilty or not. You're not supposed to dig with witnesses for other stuff you could find. You're not supposed to be able to find other information from those witnesses to add to those articles of impeachment. Those witnesses are supposed to basically, if they're allowed, because they don't even have to allow them, they are actually supposed to testify towards those two articles of impeachment. First off, the second one should be summarily dismissed. The Supreme Court has ruled at least 5 times about the fact that you cannot charge a person for using their legal rights against them. You can't charge them. You cannot charge a person for using something that's legal.
Right.
And hold them liable for it. It's been done over and over and over again. The president basically used his legal right of executive privilege and said people can't testify. That's in my cabinet. They did not wait for the Supreme Court to hear it. We talked about that. But the main reason that this is unconstitutional is because there's nothing in those two charges that's even remotely close to treason. We've talked about treason before. Treason has to happen during war. We are not at war with anyone. Congress has not declared war. They don't have the power to say he's committed treason. There has been no bribery. That has been proven. It went from quid pro quo to bribery to he did something.
Right.
They couldn't prove that.
Witch hunt.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
The high crimes and misdemeanors part of it is vague, but it's not, because it meant something different when it was written than it does now. A misdemeanor does not mean what it means now. They were talking in terms of British common law at the time of crimes that equaled bribery and treason.
Right.
There's nothing there in that either. So what's happening is we have a Senate that is, a Congress that is basically trying to amend our Constitution and use the Senate to prove their case against our president, instead of the Senate actually sitting in judgment of what happened from the two articles of impeachment. In other words, they're trying to usurp our Constitution, and they're doing it through political gamesmanship. Now, I got really excited this last time. I have an extreme problem with any group of politicians that monks with our Constitution in a way that they shouldn't and can't. But I'm going to have even more of a problem if the Republicans allow this mess to go on in the Senate.
Yep.
Because it should be summarily dismissed if they start trying to do what they're trying to do, because they're basically changing our supreme law into something it's not. You cannot go into the Senate with 2 charges and present the evidence from those 2 charges and keep on trying to find more charges to add to those charges. That is not legal. It's not only not legal, it's unconstitutional, and it's also usurping not only the Senate's power, but we've already talked about how they did it with the judiciary by not allowing them to hear the case about Donald Trump using his executive power. So we have a Congress that is off the rails, that is actually causing a constitutional crisis. It needs to be gotten a hold of. The DOJ needs to get involved with it, and the Senate needs to get involved with it, and the Supreme Court needs to get involved with it ultimately. They need to stop this, and they need to stop this right now. And I'm going to tell you, I really, really like what Mitch McConnell has done with this up until today when he added another basically 12 hours worth of testimony. Yep. He should have never done that.
Right.
He should have never caved into the pressure from the so-called Republicans that are giving them more time. And on top of it, what they really need to do is they need to go to Justice Roberts and ask him this question about the actual deposition that was given by the president's lawyers today. If you haven't seen them, they're spectacular. I know that a lot of people don't have time to sit here and listen to this. But if you listen to just 2 of his lawyers, Jay Speculo and I cannot remember the lead lawyer's names.
Remember his name?
What they said.
I was watching it too. I remember Speculo.
If you listen to what they're saying, you don't need that testimony. You don't need any of that. What you do is you open those 2 impeachment charges, you read through them, and you go, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. We are not going to have this political circus, and we're not going to actually basically go around our law, which is the Constitution, to satisfy the fact that you're upset because you didn't win an election that you thought you should win. Right. And you don't like what a president's doing because he's undermining the Americans' confidence in your party, which is what the man is doing. That's really what the problem is, because one side says one thing, the other side says the other, and the president is proving one side over the other because of the way this country is going in the last 3 years. Now, that being totally put aside, Democrat, Republican put aside, this is a republic. This is our republic. That document was given to us so we could control the people up in Washington, D.C. Right. You need to call your representatives and you need to tell them, we know that this is not part of how impeachment is supposed to happen. We have to stop this because there will not be a safe president, and it doesn't matter which party.
It doesn't matter.
They will not be able to actually invoke executive privilege, which is pivotal and has been going on since George Washington. George Washington was the first president of this country, and he was the first president to use executive privilege. Yeah. With the precedent that they are setting in this god-awful nonsense, they are going to ruin 250 years plus worth of judicial history.
Yeah.
They're violating every sense of honor that the people that are up there are supposed to have. They're supposed to uphold the Constitution, not destroy it. And that's what they're doing right now.
They're trying to rewrite it to their
way. Exactly.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to amend the Constitution. Without a vote is what they're doing.
Right. Yes.
And this is the tyranny that our founding fathers warned us about. And that may sound harsh, but I am telling you this is the tyranny that they warned us about.
It's true.
Because I'm telling you, these guys were extremely intelligent when they did this. They'd seen tyranny. They understood tyranny. They understood liberty and personal liberty. And they made a system up that gave the American public the freest country in the world. And we're going to lose it if we keep on allowing any politician to do what they're doing. It doesn't matter whether it's Democrat or Republican, because I would be screaming from the high hills that the Republicans were doing it. Just like I did when, God forbid, and I don't talk to people about this because I thought this was wrong. When we had the Republicans during the Barack Obama administration,
Right,
actually charge the head of the DOJ, and I can't remember this guy's name, probably because I didn't like him and all, and I tried to forget it. When they did what they did to him after Barack Obama invoked executive privilege,
Mm-hmm.
the Republicans went off the rail and charged him. You can't do that either way. There's other ways to handle that, but you cannot charge that person for being covered under executive privilege, and it never should have been done. It's part of why the Democrats are doing what they're doing now. But I said this last week, this has to stop. Our founding document's not going to mean anything
anymore,
once it's done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Byron, I think of the last 3.5 years, and I have to be careful because when you attack my country, I get a little passionate. So I got to think about what I'm saying here. But they've scrutinized this president from the time he put his name in the hat and said he was going to run.
Yep,
That's true. They have done nothing but point the finger at everything that they possibly could throw at him to stick on him, and nothing stuck yet. So this is why
I don't think anything will stick.
Nothing will.
Nothing.
No, but this
This
is why you see them want to bring in any kind of witnesses, because they can take anything they say and word it to what benefits their agenda.
Right.
And when they
right.
scrutinize this, why do you think they're pushing for so many witnesses? Because now you have so many things you can
twist.
You can twist.
Twist
and
it. Yeah.
Perjury. It's called perjury. It's what they want, because that is truthfully the only way that they can make their agenda stand out. To hey, there's something going on here.
Right.
Here's the thing about what you're talking about, Mike. They started this process when he put his hat in the ring.
Yeah.
Not for president, but when they started figuring out that he had a real chance of winning.
Yes.
No, not even then. Winning the primary.
Right. That's
when all of this stuff started going on. It had a person that was extremely shady, and that's what Christopher Steele was, shady. The FBI actually would not take his information, and neither would wait a minute, that's not right. The CIA wouldn't take his information because they didn't trust him, and the FBI had him as shady.
Right.
They took a document that he got from a bar in Russia.
Yes.
To some oligarchs talking about Donald Trump and what he's done. And they used that to start an investigation on Donald Trump. They used it to actually wiretap, or in other words, surveil.
Illegally surveil.
A United States citizen. And then the United States president, because they were still using it after he first got in the office. Okay? After he was elected, he moved what was going on before he got into the Oval Office out of Trump Tower, because Trump Tower was wiretapped. Okay? They used that document to renew that wiretap at least 3 times. And you want to know why Republicans and people that know what's going on are mad at James Comey? He's the one that had signed those to go to the FISA court to actually have them approved. And he's the one that's been crawled on by the FISA court judge now.
Right.
That's where all of this started. That's where Russian collusion came from, which was a total load of nonsense. It was proven that it was a total load of nonsense. Since that didn't work and the porno star deal didn't work.
Racism didn't work.
Racism didn't work. Now we have got Ukraine and bribing. At first it was quid pro quo, then it was bribing, and then all of this other stuff. And Donald Trump cut that off at the knees when he released that phone conversation. Anybody with a brain in their head can listen to that conversation and go, I'm asking you. I'm not telling you. I'm asking you to investigate this. There's something wrong with it.
Yep.
You have corruption going on. You have corruption going on with a citizen of a country that I'm the president of. I don't care if he's a political opponent. I don't care if he's anybody. He's a citizen of this country. That man should be investigated. And I don't care. I don't care if he's running. If he's committed crimes and his son's committed crimes and he knows about it, I don't care if he's a political opponent. He should go down for it.
Right.
Because he's a criminal.
And I truly believe your president should have the right to ask that question.
Well, yes, he should. Yeah. He not only should he have the right to ask that question, he does have the right to ask that question because of a treaty that Bill Clinton signed with Ukraine.
Yep.
Bill Clinton did this, not him. Bill Clinton has allowed this. Legally, they can't do anything about it. This is a show for their constituents. Is what this is, to raise money and to make people hate Donald Trump.
Right. That's what it's about. It's about like your neighbor tells your other neighbor, hey, I don't like him because of this. And then that neighbor tells the other neighbor next to him, I don't like him because of this.
And guess what? Now this whole side of the neighborhood don't like you.
They think they're trying to brainwash them that he has done this when he actually has not. And they think it's going to work. But I hate to tell them that the Democrat numbers are going down across the country, and the Republican Party's numbers are going up.
In some polls, he's got a 93% approval rating in the Republican Party, and it's like 51 in some polls.
51 last I saw.
Yeah.
51% in some polls approval rating, period.
Right.
That's Democrats, Republicans.
I'll give you a prime example.
There's only one president I ever remember that had numbers that high, and that was Ronald Reagan.
I can guarantee you this. You can go down to Mr. Terry Vaughn's office, and you can ask him for the past 8 months, the numbers of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party and the Independent.
They're destroying
themselves. You can see the numbers dropping in the Democrats, and the numbers are rising.
Hell, they're just not dropping. Some of them are flipping. Some of them are flipping. The Republican are becoming an independent. That's just the way it's going right now.
There's sometimes we have had months where over 30 people in 1 month has jumped from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party right here in Bradford County.
Here's what I'm going to say about this. We need to take all of this, the political party affiliation out of this for a minute and take a look at what's happening.
Yes.
Because I'll be honest with you, if the Republicans were doing the same thing, I would be saying the same thing. This is unconstitutional. It should never be happening. They're destroying our republic, and they know they're doing it.
Right.
I really strongly believe that there is a case to be made, and we may see it, we may not. I may be opening my mouth and giving something out that's going on. I have no knowledge if it is going on. But from the beginning of this, there is a term called seditious conspiracy, where a group of 2 or more people try to overthrow our government.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can make a case that that's exactly what the DNC did with the Steele dossier, with the Ukraine, and with everything else that they're doing. And it takes actual physical action to prove, which you can say the Steele dossier was not them actually doing it, and you can do little games, legal games to say that they actually didn't do that. But now they're bringing that up again in the Senate. This is a physical action. And I really believe that they need to take a look at some of this. The people that were involved with it now, I really believe they need to take a look at that charge, because this can't continue to happen. Because, man, there's not going to be a president, Democrat, Independent, Socialist,
it doesn't matter.
Whatever, is going to be able to go, you can't have the conversations that I'm having with my advisors, which is what executive privilege is. That is national security.
Right.
And also, when you do that, all of those comments and all of those things that are said between those can be viewed and can be seen in a light. If I'm sitting around with the President of the United States and I'm his advisor and we're sitting around talking about what the Iranians just did, and my comment is, I think you should blow that out of them right now, they can take that and run with that.
Mm-hmm. Sure can.
And come after me because I'm usurping Congress's power to declare war.
Right.
I mean, there's all sort of political stuff that they can do with that, and just nonsense that they can do with it. It just can't be allowed to continue like this. And I hope the Republicans come to their senses and go, look at this, and before they start calling witnesses, go, y'all can pound sand. There's nothing in this.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're not fishing for you because that usurps.
Right.
That is
not
what
only
they're
our
trying
power,
to do. They're trying to use the
It's
expedition.
expedition,
It usurps our power in the Constitution. It usurps the judiciary power because you didn't give them a chance to make the judgment on the executive privilege.
Mm-hmm.
And it usurps the Constitution completely in your power because you are trying to act like a bunch of tyrants, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Well, Byron,
That right there is what they're doing is the absolutely definition for
Of tyranny.
socialism.
It's tyranny. It's tyranny, period. It's the tyranny
They're
of
trying to
socialism.
turn it into a socialist. The Democrats of yesterday are gone.
Well-
These Democrats are there now. They are turning to a socialist government. They want to take your Constitution. They want to rip it up, take your rights away, your amendments, throw them in the trash can, and burn them. And then tell you how to live instead of you tell them how we should live, because we are the people, we are the government.
That's right.
They are not.
Have we not forgotten? I know us gentlemen haven't. Have we not forgotten? Because have we not forgotten that them son of a guns work for us? We don't work for them. How many times do we got to say this on this show and make these people wake up and do something about it? We hold the power.
The problem is we have been led down this path through our education system, through our college systems, through the rewriting of history. So what ends up happening is you get somebody that truly believes that socialism can work because they've been told that since the time they were 5 years old through different means and different ways.
Right.
And it seeps into their head, and they don't believe that it's a bad thing. And you can sit there and go, Stalin starved Ukrainians in the 30s.
Ask people from Cuba.
Millions of people died. You could talk about Pol Pot. You could talk about Mao Zedong. You could talk about any number of how many people died under socialism. All the Jews under Hitler.
Hitler, right?
You could talk about all of that, and they'll look at you and go, "But it will work the way we do it." It does not work the way you do it. It leads to thing. It leads to a
dictatorship. Mm-hmm.
It leads to a dictator, and it leads to tyranny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. I'm going to tell everybody here, this is not going to happen in this country.
No, it isn't.
Because before that is allowed to happen, there is something a lot worse going to happen, and that's going to be another civil war because we understand it. I'm not going to allow it. I'm just not.
Well, none of us here are.
They can say what they want to, and they can do what they want to. It has to be stopped. It needs to be stopped legally. It needs to be stopped in the Senate by people who understand what our Constitution is, and it needs to be stopped by our judiciary. And they need to be not only censured for it, but some of these people that are perpetrating this act, Nancy Pelosi for one, Jerry Nadler for another, Adam Schiff for another. They need to be held responsible legally for this, and they need to be jailed.
You know, Byron, it's safe to say that we live in the greatest country in the world.
Oh, we do.
We do.
We do.
And if you know, the old saying, while you're watching the circus going on over here, something else is going on.
You better believe
that. That's exactly right. Mm-hmm.
So what's taking place here is, one, the almighty dollar can easily persuade somebody to give up this beautiful country that we live in and say, you want this country? Okay, hey, pay me what I want. I'll get out of here, and you can come take it over. And I truly believe when you talk about Nancy Pelosi and them, that they do not have the best interest for this country.
Look at her state. Look at her state.
Anybody,
just look at it.
Anybody that's been in the Congress, as long as Nancy Pelosi has been in the Congress,
112 years. I think, last I checked, she's been in there a long time, so I'm
112.
I'm thinking something.
It's either 32 or 38. I can't remember.
Just
which.
seems
That's
like-
close to
just
112.
seems like
It's either
forever.
32 or 38. Schumer's been in there for 32 or 38. Nancy's been there. I can't remember.
Give you a prime
But Chuck
example.
Schumer is no better because
Right.
he's sitting there saying things that are exact opposite of what he said during the impeachment of Bill Clinton. And you look at what happened with Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton had 12 or 13 different felonies that they charged him with, provable felonies that they sent those impeachment papers up there for.
Right.
13. And they still didn't impeach him. You know why they didn't impeach him? Well, not only because he was a Clinton and they were all afraid he would commit suicide, they would commit suicide, but they were afraid what was going to happen because of Clinton's popularity.
And
People laugh about that, but that would scare me
No.
half to death with the trail of people that have died that they've been associated with. They were afraid that if they impeached a president as popular as Bill Clinton, that the backlash in this country would cost him politically.
Right.
But he committed those crimes. He should have been impeached for them, but they just couldn't do it. And that's fine. I mean, that's the way that's designed. They decided they didn't want to do it.
Right.
But what they're doing now is unconstitutional, and it's causing a constitutional crisis. Because we have a group of people that don't understand our Constitution, and we'll sit there and go, no, they're not causing a Constitution. Donald Trump hasn't done anything to cause a constitutional crisis except use his power.
Let's check some of these comments, Byron. I'll let you read some of these comments here.
Sure.
Becky, I'll talk to you about that later, about a grocery store in Lauderdale. There used to be one there, little one.
It used to be.
Yeah, Waters, right?
Waters.
Many moons
ago. Maybe that's something we can look into. Go ahead, Byron. I'll let you go.
Let's see. Well, it's too late. Proud to serve by your side. Proud to have served side by side with him in Iraq. Good Lord. Go Plum. Love y'all, brother. That was from Rodney out to Mr. Plum. Carlton Jones. So there are too many churches in Bradford County not to have some place for the homeless and the cold.
Boy, I agree with that.
Stephanie Loper has joined. Chuck Wilson has joined. Noah Gibson. We had and it closed. Randolph Denny is here. And, well, civil and not political. Talking about war. Plus no evidence. I think this impeachment is bogus. The impeachment is not really a true impeachment. Senate is controlled. 10th Amendment. Okay. Noah, how are you going to enact the 10th Amendment? You're talking about the power that's not in the Constitution is given to the states and the people alone. How are you going to enact that? What are the states going to do?
Right.
I mean, start breaking off? That's about the only thing you could do.
California could break off.
Representatives that impeachment should be blacklisted. No, they shouldn't be blacklisted. No, what should happen is they should hold people responsible for this coup attempt.
Right.
And charge them with crimes and put them in jail.
That is not Club Med. That's not Club Med. Send them to Gitmo. Let us do some hard time. Not Club Med.
Because I'm telling you,
don't even waste your money on Club Med.
There are Republicans that are not beyond doing this to a Democrat president. I am telling you, there are Republicans out there that are not beyond doing this to a Democrat president.
Oh, for sure.
It would happen. Okay, Nikki Plum is here. Literally, enough of these tigers appeasing. No longer deal with tigers. Okay. I may go into a frenzy now. Okay, Anthony Black. They are going to drag this out and try to affect the elections with the impeachment crap. So many issues in this country, and they are worried and getting rid of one person. And forgot about their fellow Americans. Yes, Rodney, that's exactly right. They're more concerned about impeaching Donald Trump than they are about actually doing their jobs. And I've said that.
Well, and they're hoping that this will get right into the elections and cause a change.
Go back up for just 1 second. I want to add one more thing. Okay, they're making a mistake by dragging this out towards the elections. unless they've already chosen who they're going to run against Donald Trump. Because you have at least 2 people in the Democrat Party that are running, that are senators, that have to be involved with this. And that's Bernie Sanders, which you can gladly keep there because he's a communist, and Elizabeth Warren, who is a full-blown liar.
Well, we don't know what she is.
She's a
one
liar.
minute she's an Indian, the next minute
Yeah,
she's something else.
Pocahontas. There you go. You got it.
And
Yeah.
people get upset with me if you want to. I have Indian blood in me, and that offends me greatly.
Yes.
She said that and then turned around and used it and defrauded the colleges that she taught at, saying she was Indian. That offends me. Sorry, I don't get offended by much, but that one bothers me. The Second Amendment is rewriting. We are due a revolution. Okay, Noah. Yeah, I don't know about a revolution that way. Lane, the head of the Republican Party, purging the Tea Party members. No, it's not. Still not that way. The ones that did that are retired.
Are retired. They're gone. Yes.
Yep, they were after him before they eat. Yep, they were.
That's what Mike said.
We
Yeah,
were just
Mike
talking
was-
about that. During the Obama administration, the word racism is overused and out of context. The word racism is not understood at all in this country anymore, and it's used in the wrong way. Racist is a person who believes that one race is superior or inferior to another, and it's used for every single thing that bigoted can be ever used for.
Yes.
Biden is not going to be elected. No, Joe Biden is not
Biden's
going
done.
No.
But I don't believe he's done. I honestly believe that they have basically chosen him to run against Trump.
I think that's who they're going to have to.
Well,
I mean, you've got the rest of them.
that's going to be a landslide, brother.
He ain't got a hope of He can't even remember what day he said something in the same week.
But with what they're doing in the Senate, I mean, we're about to come up on primaries. So you're going to have senators in this impeachment trial, if they drag it on, they can't go run in the primaries. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
That takes them right out of it.
that leaves Joe Biden and people like
Elizabeth
Andrew
Warren.
Yang.
Dang. Yeah.
There, I mean, Trump has made the Democrats show America really what they are. Yep, they sure have.
Federalist Party.
He tried to leave the union.
We're dissolved.
I think the Democrat must be dissolved. The Democrat Party should have been dissolved after the Civil War. And I ain't reading that one. Sorry, no. We'll talk about that later if you want to. Jimmy Smith, Mr. David said it better than I do. On who works for us. Thank you, Mr. Bagwell. The Pol Pot was a madman. Yes, he was. Second Civil War. I think that. Look, the 10th Amendment no longer has teeth. It no longer has teeth because we stopped actually giving the states rights through their senators.
Right.
It doesn't have teeth anymore. I understand what you're saying because it should have teeth. This is definitely going to blow up in the Democrats' face. God, I hope it does. Before this happens, I may get rid of money and get tired. You don't want to become part of that EU mess that's going on right there now either, because that's a god awful mess over there too. You can dissolve the Democrat Party; they just need to work together. Yeah, you cannot dissolve the Democrat Party; they just need to work together. They're good and bad in both parties. Yes, Mark Norton, they sure are. There's good and bad in both parties. And what we need to go back to is we need to go back to people like one of the president's counsel, who is actually. He's actually a liberal Democrat, a registered liberal Democrat, who is also who's a constitutional scholar, who is defending the president against this.
Right.
And he's being severely chastised by the news media and the Democrat Party. And why Alan Dershowitz is his name.
Yes.
If you don't know who that is, you really need to look into the guy because he's blindingly brilliant. I don't like his politics, but he is blindingly brilliant when the Constitution comes to the Constitution. Amy King Hutton is joined. Secession is a dirty word. No, secession is not a dirty word. I'm trying, Mr. Bagwell tried. And secession. And one more thing about secession. Secession is not a dirty word. There's nowhere in the Constitution that says any state cannot secede the union.
Right.
And there you define it. It's not in there.
Nope.
And Texas actually has something written in their Constitution that says if they want to leave the union, they can. So it's a mess. It needs to be fixed. The people that are causing this in the Democrat Party need to be held responsible for it, period. Because if it's not fixed, it's going to turn into political melee between the two parties. Because, like I said, there are members of the Republican Party that would do the same thing to a Democrat president.
Byron, great subject again. We're going to keep continuing on, even on Saturday's show. As long as this is going on, we're going to continue to talk about it. And I just want to add one little last thing to it. Something that Mike Walsh said that I want to just sort of throw on top. World nations would love nothing more to see us implode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
See us implode.
Absolutely.
How do we do that? With the crap that's going on right now. The stuff that's going on in Virginia. The shootings that are going on. They love to hear all that stuff. Why? Because they don't want to come over here and have to fight us. They don't want to fight us. They can't fight us. But if we fight amongst ourselves and we implode,
a country is divided.
The nation divided or a country divided.
China, we owe China trillions of dollars, and we're sitting here messing around impeaching the president.
Right. What if China wants to call in their marker?
No. And there's some geopolitical reasons why that will never happen.
I know. I'm just saying.
Because they call them in, this one calls them in, call it in.
Yeah, everybody's going to call in their markers. Guess what's going to happen?
There's not enough chaos.
Yeah, you're going to have a war.
You're going to have a war
is what's going to happen.
That won't happen.
But what I'm just saying, they could if they wanted to.
Oh yeah,
they
could. They could. But you see, they're working with Donald Trump with the trade deal that he's signed. And one more thing, he just mentioned one thing that we wanted to talk about tonight before this ended, was the rally that happened in Virginia. It was peacefully done. There were thousands of people, armed people, outside of the premises of that.
No shots fired.
Not a shot fired. Not an incident. Not an arrest.
You mean to tell me the guns
place up? There was no garbage in the place after they left.
It was, yeah.
And suspiciously, the people from Antifa that were supposed to show up didn't show up. Another reason why they didn't show up?
Because they're afraid they was going to get shot if they stayed.
Those boys would have shot them, and I would have laughed. And I don't laugh about people getting shot, but those people asked for it in the way they act. They're a terrorist organization, and they should be designated such and removed from their freedoms.
All right. Well said, Byron. Great part on yours, Mitchell, so far. Let's get into some sports real quick, man. I'm going to hit a little something on some sports right here. Hey, let's start off with our local sports right here. Mr. Roger Cruz is joining us in here. Where you been, man? Don't worry about it. Bradford Middle School, boys and girls basketball. Regular season is over, and now we're in the NEFAC playoffs. Girls had to travel to Orange Park tonight. Did they win or lose?
Lose.
They lost, so they're done. Girls BMS basketball's done. Yeah. Great season. That's okay. Hey, there's next year. How about the boys? They were the number one seed. Did they win?
60-25.
They won 60-25 over Baker County.
At home.
At home. So now they move on. When they play again? Thursday?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday at home again? Or they got to go on the road?
On the championship at Lake Asbury.
Okay, so Lake Asbury. Okay,
congratulations, guys.
Yeah, BMS boys, they haven't lost a game all year, right? As far as I know. They have not lost a game all year. They keep blowing opponents out. It looks like we may get us a championship right here next week over in Lake Asbury.
Speaking of basketball, the Bradford High School girls, they went and played Clay High and beat them, 59-9?
Yeah, I'm fixing to get to that. Yeah, boy. Now, that's what I wanted to get into was Bradford High School boys and girls basketball teams. They're still in their regular season. Both of them have a full schedule this week. The boys' records are 11-4 overall. No, they haven't played a district game yet. They're nationally ranked 4,169th out of all the high schools in the nation. They're state ranked 166. They lost last Thursday to Ed White 51-42. Now they look to rebound against Ocala Forest tonight. Did they win?
It's on the gym.
That's going on right now, right?
At 7:30.
Okay, so it started at 7, right? I had 7, yeah. So that game is going on right now. We'll fill you in on the score. The girls, they're 12-5 overall and 5-0 in district play. They're nationally ranked 6,812, state ranked 228. They are on a 2-game win streak, and they travel tonight to Jacksonville to play the Paxton School for Advanced Studies. That game was at 6 p.m. Did they win or lose, Raj?
I not know.
You don't know that one. Okay. Well, we'll find out for you, and we'll report that back to you. That's for sure. So after tonight, the girls will play at home on Thursday night against North Marion at 6 p.m. And then on Friday night at home against University Christian in a triple header with the boys. Speaking of the boys, They were playing Forest High School. Go Big Red. You got that right. University Christian on Thursday night. That's a triple header. And then they'll play IMG Academy in IMG, varsity only. Good luck with that. You're going to travel 2.5 hours down there. Hope y'all can pull one off. But
me too.
Woods, well, anyway. All right, the 2020 girls weightlifting team, they have district this Friday. That's Coach Ping and my daughter Autumn Rodgers coaches that weightlifting team. She's got some people trying to qualify for the district. And original meet to be announced later, huh?
How did the first meet go?
They won, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 7 meets. They won 4 of the 7.
4 of the 7, cool.
That's not bad considering the numbers they had. So 4 of the 7, that's not bad. All right, Bradford High School Wrestling. Wednesday, January 22nd, they're going to go to Interlochen to wrestle. Weigh-in is at 5. Match time is at 5:30. And then on Friday, January 24th, they're going to go right down the road right there to 100, down 100 toward Lake City. And they're going to make a pit stop at Lake Butler, at Union High School, and Union County High School. That's what it should say right there. Weigh-in time 5:30. Meet time is at 6:30. How about baseball season's coming up, right, guys? Winter sports are almost done. Here we go with our spring sports. So baseball, February 11th, the boys will be playing at Lake Butler in a preseason tournament. That game time will be 5. We'll get into that more as it gets closer. And I believe that the girls are going to be playing right there on that same day as well. Bradford High School right here, baseball team. They'll be in a preseason classic at Baker County, February 10th through the 14th. The opponents are still to be announced yet, and the times, and I'm sure as we get closer, we will have that as well. So Bradford lost to Forest 52-49 That's a tough loss right there. Yep. 3-point loss. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Apparently a good basketball game.
All right. Before we get into this, the viewers that are left, and I know you guys know it right here, I've got a $15 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill.
Thank you.
If you can tell me what the nickname of San Diego State is. Don't nobody say it here if y'all know it. Give me the nickname. The first person to give me the nickname on the comments column of San Diego State will get a $15 gift certificate.
The Horny Toads?
Close.
Oh, okay.
You know it, Mike, right? Don't say it. Don't say it.
I won't say it. I won't say it. But, while we're waiting on that answer, because it should be coming pretty quick.
I hope so.
February 2nd, we also have something else coming up. Mm-hmm. What would that be on February? Sunday, February 2nd. Sunday. And we're
going to get into that. Yes, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. But for 2 shows now, I haven't been able to talk about the national championship game. Dave, can we see if somebody's got that answer real quick? I know Mike knows. Do you know that answer?
I think I do.
Sports time. Yes. So let's see. Scrolling down. Oh, Lisa Baxter, you win a $15 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill. You can pick that up for me. It is the Aztec. Look at Lisa Baxter. She must know her sports brother. I love that. Huh? She does it.
That's my mother.
Oh, is it? Hey, well, she must know.
She got
so I'll have to give you the $15 gift certificate to give to her. But anyway, yeah, you're going to use it. All right. Hey, get it from yourself.
Mama, he's going to use the gift certificate.
Anyway, we all know the national championship game. LSU won that game 42-25. It was a great football game. Did want to say a couple of things about this particular football game. I was wrong in my pick, number 1. So were you. I'm giving LSU credit where credit is due. LSU was the better team. LSU was the better team. Y'all did pull the reins back that night.
Who was right, though?
So, well, I think you picked them. Dave picked them. Roger picked them. You picked Clemson.
Yeah.
Who'd you pick? Did you pick LSU? I think you did. John, who'd you pick? You took Clemson, didn't you? You don't remember? I wouldn't answer that anyway. But anyway,
It was split half and half.
It was. I think it was split half and half. But LSU did a great job. Joe Burrows is the real deal. There's no doubt about it. Now, I want to say something about this particular game. Y'all can chime in just for a few minutes here. I thought the game was officiated horribly, both ways. I thought there was calls that should have been, that shouldn't have been. Are you going to let them play? Let them all play. Let's play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't call pass interference on a 60-yard touchdown pass when the guy pushes the guy off of his chest 5 yards, and then you're going to call a tic-tac foul right down here in the end zone on the touchdown catch that would have cut that game to a 3-point lead, by the way, at that particular time.
Yes, it would have.
Yes, it would have. And no telling what would have happened. I'm not saying LSU still wouldn't have won it. I'm just saying you would have cut that ball game down to a 3-point game.
My point about the whole
So-
entire thing with that is if you're going to have rules, just like you're going to have laws in life, you
Yeah.
need to enforce them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Now, we had a conversation the other night with another guy at Beef O'Brady's.
Yes, we did.
Talking to Drew. And he made a point about that. If you enforce it, you can call a penalty on every play.
Yep.
When you can't call a penalty on every play because you can call holding
On every play.
the offensive line
Every play.
But you redefine what holding is, and you make it blatant, and then you define some of the other stuff and make it to where you have to call those calls, because you can't let one team shove a DB 3 yards away from him, catch a pass, and run down the field, score a touchdown, and then have another player push off the guy's maybe half a yard from him. The guy turns around, a hold of his shirt as the ball's coming in. The video clearly showed the guy had a hold of his shirt and did not call and call that. That doesn't make any sense, and it makes people believe this crap is rigged.
Yeah, and I want to throw this to everybody, to include to the audience here, Mike. I have a terrible time with the targeting call. Now, let me tell you why. Let me explain why I say that. Okay, I don't mind. You're taught to form tackle, lead with your shoulder, don't hit crown to crown with the helmet, and I get that, and I understand why the rule is there. The rule is there to protect both players, but mainly the defensive player that's coming in there to make that hit.
Yep.
Okay, now here's my problem with the college rule of this thing for sure. So Skolasky, that middle linebacker, was causing wreaking havoc up until that point. Even Dave was saying it, like, God, 47. He was in the backfield, the middle. I mean, my God, this unbelievable football. And was in Joe Burrow's face, and he was just
that last hit that hit him affected Joe Burrow.
Yeah. So now I know that he led with his shoulder, and I know his helmet came up. But when that player is ducking down and he's trying to avoid that hit, it's almost hard not to hit helmet to helmet.
I agree.
To me, I didn't think.
To
me, if it's egregious or flagrant and you spear with the head, yes, you're going to get the targeting. Get out. Now, if it's incidental to me, like that was,
there's the word.
Yes. Give them the 15-yard penalty, but don't eject the man.
Yeah.
Don't eject it.
Change the path of the entire game.
Right. It did. It really did change the whole. I'm not saying LSU still wouldn't have won. I'm just saying I think the score was close. What would have happened either way.
Yeah.
But I have a problem with that. I'd like to see the NCAA. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'd like to see the NCAA change that rule. The second time you get caught doing it, now you get an ejection, no matter what happens.
Here's the thing, but you really don't want to do that about the second time that you're ejected, because people are going to start planning to do one. They're going to start saying you hit the quarterback in the head. Yeah. Well, the problem you can't do that, but what you can do is you can call that not a penalty,
right?
Using replay. If the other player ducks into it. And I've seen that happen.
Amen.
See, that's the whole thing right there. As a defensive player going in, he's already committed to his tackle.
Yeah.
Now, if that offensive player goes down to soften the blow,
correct,
because that's what they're going to do. They don't want to be the low guy.
No, they don't.
They know the low guys get the better of the head. So they're automatically going to drop down. So if by chance their heads collide, I don't see where the defensive player, should get ejected for that.
Right.
And I really sometimes don't even think there should be a 15-yard penalty on it either. Because, again, he's already into his tackle formation.
Right, that's right.
He's already dropping the dude what's right. He doesn't know that offensive guy's fixing to drop down and they're going to hit head to head.
And who does that the most on the offense?
The running back.
Yeah.
Running back does it
Yeah.
every time.
Look at Derrick
Yeah.
Henry.
Drop that
They were
head
scared
and
to death
shoulder
to
down.
tackle Derrick
Right.
Henry because they know when he comes at you, he's
I
going to
just
knock
thi-
you down.
I just think if it's an egregious penalty or a spear, an intentional spear, yeah, you need the 15-yard penalty and you need to go and leave and sit out.
But if
But
you're,
that
if
right
you're,
there,
if you're turning your head,
It's intentional.
You're about
Yes.
to, you're about to hit somebody.
It's part of the play.
and they basically go down or lean into your tackle, and your head's hit. How can
It can be on the offensive guy just the same.
same way as the defensive guy.
Exactly.
Right, I agree.
That's the way I feel.
How can
Yeah.
you penalize either one of them for that? Because they're basically playing
It's
football
not-
the way they've been taught to play football.
Yeah, you want to say this, Roger? Go ahead and tell me. You want me to do that?
No,
All right, the Lady Tornadoes got a win on the road against Paxton High. We just called it. Roger just found it. 52-29. The Lady Tornadoes are on the roll right there. No big red on anything that they do, brother.
No,
Okay,
no,
what would you want to say, Roger?
I agree with you about the leg hit,
Right.
but it's the man said, "Oh, the NFL do the same thing too."
It doesn't
No,
matter.
listen.
Right.
College football do like the NFL. It should replay get involved in NFL.
Well, of course,
They
that's
get involved.
what why Scholastic got kicked out is because the replay came into effect.
Yeah.
It was overturned, or it was made. The call was made from the replay booth.
From the replay booth.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what we're talking about. The call can be made from the replay booth, but
Yeah.
what we're talking about is fixing that so when a player actually goes like this when he's about to get tackled
Right.
and their heads collide, that's not a penalty on either
It's
one.
not targeting.
Yeah.
Right. It's not targeting.
It shouldn't be a penalty.
And they
either.
know they're getting hit.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
know they're going to collide. It's different as a defensive wide receiver out there getting the ball thrown to him, and before the ball gets there, and the cornerback hits him head on with his helmet. The helmet, that right there is flagrant, and that's an automatic ejection.
Right.
Well, and I can guarantee you what's going to start happening is these coaches are going to start teaching that so they can get those penalties.
Right. I think that's where it may come down to, too. I hate to say that. It may come down to
They're going
that.
to start that. They're going to
Yeah.
start that.
Well, I certainly think you've seen a change in the tackling abilities in the last 5 years.
my.
They are getting coached a lot better. They are leading with their shoulders a lot more. Because
They are.
when we played football, it was everything.
It was
from
free
set
fall
to
on.
it was head on,
You don't
shoulder
ever-
on. It didn't matter.
However,
And things have certainly changed in the
Sure.
last 5-10 years, where now they are getting more safer in the tackling. But again, you can't wrong a man for going down the tackle and the offensive player just dropping down
You
to
can't-
soften that blow.
That's it's got to be changed because I've watched it at least 4 times this year where a team star defensive player has been gone from a football game for what we just talked about.
Right.
And I'm sitting here going, the guy led with his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
The other player basically went down to absorb the hit, and their heads collided.
Right.
He didn't target the guy's head. They hit head to head, but he didn't actually target the guy's head.
Same sentence. Hitting a defensive player. How many times does a wide receiver come across the center of the field
And he gets
get called for hitting a defensive player? When you don't know if that wide receiver is going to come down with that ball or not,
Right.
you hit him
I
in the
agree.
chest to tackle him.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't help it he didn't catch the ball.
Right.
But it doesn't mean I just hit a defensive player.
Correct.
Right.
Because they don't. What you just said, Mike, and Byron, because they don't make that definition tighter. They don't make it. A defensive player.
There was a call in the NFL, one of the NFL games this
Yes,
weekend.
we
that did
did.
that, and I looked
Yeah.
at it and went, "How is
that?
That's that ball? How
Yeah.
is that? How is that pass interference? The
Yeah.
ball's 3 miles over.
Over
the
his
guy's
head.
head when he hit him.
I think that was in the
Pass interference.
Kansas City and Tennessee game.
It
I believe.
was. I'm like, it's not pass interference. My God, he couldn't catch the ball. I can't be pass interference.
The don't penalty.
I want to move on.
The don't penalty is the Tennessee and Kansas City. The dude for Tennessee knocked up off sides. The lineman moved first.
Well, that penalty, that's just an encroachment penalty and an offside penalty. Those are going to happen all the time. I mean, those are going to happen. So I just want to go through real quick.
Vegas wanted Kansas City and the 49ers.
Yeah.
Game is what happened with that.
And all this that we're talking about, is this right here. It's all about the mighty dollar.
Cash.
Okay. Concussion protocols, the things that are going on, it's all a cash generator. It's all about the money. You know that. Mike knows that. Everybody knows that. But I just want to go over some quick stats right here. Time of possession for LSU, 34 minutes. Clemson, 25. First downs were pretty close, 29-23 in favor of LSU. This is where the disparity comes in. Total yards, 628 for LSU, 394 for Clemson. Passing yards, 234 for Sunshine Bass, and for 463 for Burrows.
Something was wrong with him.
Yeah, I think so.
Broadside of a barn that night, and that was not.
Here is where I thought Clemson could have won the game, but Hilaire, man, did a good job. But that's 160 yards. They quit running. They quit running 18. 160 yards to 165 yards, about as close as you can get. Penalties, LSU had 11 for 118 yards. Clemson had 7 for 65. I don't know what happened there. When you usually lose that battle, you're usually going to lose generally. 30 return yards for Clemson, 17 for LSU, not a big deal. Here's the other disparity. 81 plays to 65 plays right there. That's when Hilaire was running the ball right there. And average yards per play, 7.8 for LSU, 6.1 for Clemson. I just want to go over a couple of records that Joe Burrows broke, if y'all don't already know him. Against Clemson, he threw 31 for 49 for 463 yards and 5 touchdowns. He also ran for 58 yards and another touchdown in the process. All those are bowl records. Most touchdown passes in a single season, 60. Most touchdowns responsible for in a single season, 65. That means he ran 5 in. Most passing yards in a BCS, CFPS championship game, 463. And most touchdowns responsible in the same game with 6. And there was other records he shattered against Oklahoma that I didn't even get into right there.
He's not going number 1 in the draft for no reason.
For no reason.
I can tell you.
Right.
Yep, and he's going to the Bengals, and he's going to become Ryan Leaf.
He's going to Dave Holland's team.
Yes, he is. He's going to Dave Holland,
too.
Yep, Dave Holland is going to love that kid.
He won't have no offensive line. He will be hitting the ground.
In the playoff.
And you saw what happened in the national championship game when he got hit.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here I just want to read that because I have a problem here. LSU won, get it, right? Clemson 2, they played. No matter if they lost. But in the CFP poll, they've got your boys, Dave, number 2. Didn't Clemson beat them to get there?
Yeah.
And how in the heck does that happen? There you go. You see what's going on?
Everybody had chest pains again.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I want to just say Florida finished 6th in the AP, 7th in the coaches poll, and they finished 9th in the CFP poll. So that's not bad. So just wanted to get to that. We did want to talk about the Super Bowl real quick, and I'm going to get in some basketball on Saturday. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the 49ers. I want to go around the table, round table real quick.
Never, ever hear me ever say this in my life.
All right, well, I'm going to start with you then.
I absolutely, utterly hate this team, but I hope they beat Kansas City. Go 49ers.
You like the Niners?
Yeah.
Why? Defense?
I think their defense is unbelievably good.
Yep.
And I think their running game is better than everybody thought it was.
Okay.
You don't run like you did
Their
against
running
Green
game
Bay.
is good.
So
You don't run like that against Green Bay. Green Bay's got a good defense, and they did. All over the
Mostad or whatever his name is. Whoo, he was a beast. John, who do you like? You're going to the Niners too. You like them defensively?
Makes me ill to my stomach now.
Yeah, I know, John.
I grew up as a Cowboys fan. It makes me ill.
Michael Heater.
That made me ill.
Sorry. I know you're a Redskins.
Sorry, Michael Heater. Michael Heater, what you got?
No, I mean,
I'm a Cowboys
and I
fan.
can appreciate what has been said.
Uh-oh.
Not happening.
Uh-oh.
Chiefs are going to win because 49ers are not going to be able. They're going to slack off. They're thinking they're overconfident, and they're going to get caught off guard. Chiefs are going to take the lead early. They're going to hold it the entire game. Chiefs take the Super Bowl.
Whoa, Dave. Woo.
That's a lot.
Wow, that's a lot. I like the explanation. Dave.
I'm going to disagree with Michael.
Okay.
Go for the 49ers.
Okay.
And they're going to take the lead early and keep it going all through the game.
Okay, so
I was
you like
about to say, with a coach who has won
Okay.
one important game his whole entire career, you're going to do that.
All right, how about it, Mike Q?
Here's where it's going to get interesting.
Okay.
Mostert had what, 5 touchdowns last week for the 49ers, right?
80 yards.
Think about how good Derrick Henry was for the Titans leading up to against the Chiefs.
Yep.
Chiefs shut Derrick Henry down, who was on a roll going in.
Yes, he was.
The same thing is going to happen to Mostert. The Chiefs are going to stop him. Garoppolo is going to have to win it for the 49ers, and we know that Mahomes is much more of a quarterback than Garoppolo. I will be taking the Kansas City Chiefs, and they will be shutting Mostert down. He will get 1, possibly 2 at the most touchdowns. Garoppolo will struggle all day.
And Kittles will
Chiefs
have
take
3
it home.
touchdowns.
All right.
Mahomes,
And
5
Kittles
touchdowns.
will have 3 touchdowns.
Wait a minute.
And Kittles will have 3 touchdowns.
All right, Roger,
The
need your pick.
49ers win the game.
I pick the 49ers because
Because your team sucked.
you cannot stop. You cannot stop the tight end for 49ers.
What are you?
You let him.
They what?
I'll tell him in a minute. Yeah.
You let him catch passes. He'd be gone all
So
night.
you say Kittles is the difference maker?
Kittles is the
Dominate.
difference
All right.
in this game.
All
I
right.
actually agree with Roger. I think Kittles is going to be the difference in this football.
All right, Mitchell, tell me something.
I've got the 49ers. I think the 49ers will jump ahead in the first quarter
I think your defense is too
by probably 14 points. You're going to see Kansas City come roaring back in, scoring 2 quick touchdowns,
Think it
tying it
stays
back
close?
up at the half. I'll pick the 49ers to win by 6. 2 field goals.
All right. So, Mitchell, I'm going to tell you what, guys. Michael, you broke that down really well. Let me break it down on the other side for you. I like the 49ers in this because of their defense. I like Bosa. And the other end, I can't think of his name right now. Bringing pressure on Mahomes. I agree with you. I think Mahomes' escapability. He can get you yards when he needs it. But those 2 ends are really quick and really fast. The linebackers are really quick and really fast as well. The only thing that I think is shady is I've seen Sherman get burnt a couple of times on the defensive backfield, and I think you've seen the same thing, and that's why I think you think maybe Mahomes and Kelsey maybe can get on him deep because Sherman's going to. You're talking about a tight end that's really a.
Kelsey is just.
Oh yeah.
Kelsey
And Sherman's going to probably be lined up on him, and I think Kelsey can burn Sherman. I'm just hoping that the 49ers can get enough pressure there. I like it. They say defense wins championships. I like the 49ers. I think their defense, but it's close.
The other matchup, I think they're going to bring some blitzes on Mahomes.
They're going to have to.
They're going to have to fill the
You can't
gaps.
leave Mahomes time.
Oh, Austin.
The other wild card with that is Hill, because if you're overly concerned about Kelsey, Hill is unbelievably fast.
Yes, he is. Very fast.
Unbelievably
Austin, who do you like, 49ers or the
All
Chiefs?
day. Keep one linebacker in the middle at all times. To fill in the
Me
hole.
neither.
The other
I don't
two
either.
drop
Good
back
call.
coverage and out in the flats.
I want to stay out of this dumpster fire.
Okay.
Perfectly honest.
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. All right. How about just give me a pick? Give me a dumpster fire pick.
Okay.
Pick which the Chiefs. All right. They're the worst of the dumpster fires, or the 49ers are? All right, guys. It's been a good show. Yeah, I love that dumpster fire. Oh, my God.
Maybe with the exception of one time.
Yeah.
Bengals played it.
All right, guys. Quick thing, just something really quick. Let's go really quick. Closing thought.
God bless the USA.
Thank you.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Doesn't get any better than that. Closing thought there, Austin. Quick weather thing, real quick.
It's currently 38 degrees Fahrenheit. Expecting lows to go down to 30 to 25 with a hard freeze warning in effect and a freeze warning in effect for all of Northeast Florida, North Florida, and Southern Georgia from midnight tonight, 10 a.m. Cover all plants. Take all pets indoors and let your water on your faucets outside your house slowly drip or cover them tonight. We don't need anyone having busted pipes.
Thank you, sir. Very true.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, he says. All right. Dave, quick thought. Heck of a show.
God bless America.
God bless America. All right, Mike, quick thought.
All right, quote from famous author Mike Qualls. To overcome adversity, you must first be willing to stare it in the face.
I like it.
Well, I got a quote, and we're talking about Virginia a little bit tonight. Come from Hitler. To defeat a country, all you have to do is take their guns.
Like it. All right.
Guess what he did in Nazi Germany?
Yeah,
became Nazi Germany.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Parallels are pretty scary.
All right. Well, y'all said it all for me. I just want to say we live in the greatest country in the world today. Hey, listen, guys. Hey, don't forget, politicians work for you. You don't work for them. Make sure, if you don't like somebody that's in office, vote them out. Get them out of here. But they don't work for you. I mean, they're supposed to work for you. You don't work for them.
This is our country.
This is our country and the best country in the world today. Our fantastic sponsors, Miracle Automotive Towing and McClinney. Call 24 hours a day for all your service and towing needs. Call Kurt and Kenny, 904-368-1114. Harry Business Salon in the Deerfoot Plaza, open 7 days a week from 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and noon to 4 on Sundays. Our producer, Mr. Dave Holland, owns that shop. Look at this dude. Look at that dude.
Man, don't look at
that dude. Don't look at that dude. Hey, look at this dude.
Saturday because it's going to look.
Yeah, look at Austin's dude. Plum Delicious, all homemade food, nothing pre-made. Call 352-514-9790. Williams Jewelry of Starkville changed their store hours, 9 a.m. to 5:30, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesdays, 9 to 4. Saturdays, 10 to 4. Closed on Sundays. Go down there and see Vicky. On the spot lawn maintenance. Let the red, white, and blue take care of your green. We have your gutters and pressure washing covered. By the way, Bart was doing some of that today. And all sorts of yard maintenance needs. Service First Mobile Small Engine Repair McRae. Let Chuck Scarberry come to you. Call 904-703-5136 to schedule an appointment. Schuster and Sabin Law Firm out of Jacksonville, Florida. Congratulations, Lisa Baxter. I know you work for them. You get a $15 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill knowing about the Aztecs. By the way, John just whispered in my ear. He's taking that. So visit www.piplaw.com. If you've been in a car accident or if you're a medical professional and you need legal counsel, visit what?
www.pitlaw.com.
There you go, and please help us welcome our newest sponsor. Look at here, a new sponsor. That dog John is on it. North Jacksonville Complete Dentistry at 1656 Dunn Avenue in Jacksonville. Stop right there. Roger, what you tell me you need some teeth work done?
No.
Hey, we're going to set you right up in here. You sure?
You can take him to Dunn Avenue if you want to.
Well, no, I was going to take him to see Dr. Joel Saylor. But anyway, with Dr. Ryan Johnson and Dr. William Baxter, you can call and ask for Dan Baxter at 904-751-4958 and receive 10% off, Roger, if you mention on the spot. And they take most PPO plans. You know what PPO stands for? Don't say it, Roger. Oh, no, don't say that. As we wrap up our show tonight, we want to absolutely thank Sheriff Gordon Smith and the entire Bradford County Sheriff's Office team for their hospitality. Also, props to our marketing and advertising guru, John, the Snow Probes, for the quick and dirty, right along with Michael here, as well as Roger Cruz and Austin Stevens for the sports and weather update. On behalf of the entire On the Spot team, everyone have a great evening. Good night, everybody. God bless you. We love all of you. Good night, Mr. Michael Claus, Mr. Dave Holland, Mr. John Post, Mr. Michael Heater, Mr. Austin Stevens, and Roger the Tornado Cruz. Thank you, guys. Good night. God bless. Good.